There it goes. Tell me if you see it.
Okay, let me refresh.
I see it. I put up that
Mixing with Jenn and Michelle.
I put up that meme that I sent you earlier.
Whoop, whoop.
Have no fear, regular cigarettes will always be for sale. We literally cannot ban them. Competitors to the cash cow will be dealt with swiftly and
That's
harshly.
sounds about legit.
It really is.
How
Okay.
are you, Miss Jenn?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm a little disappointed actually that I didn't get to get my stitches taken out today. So,
Oh, when are they gonna do that?
well, I mean, the area. Let me. You know what? They need to see our faces. So there we go. Okay. Hello.
Oh, I'm
Um.
hiding my face.
No, don't hide your face. Don't do that. Don't do that. It. They said that it was. I mean, it was still tender, and and she was like trying to pull the stitches out, and I guess there's I don't know scabs or whatever,
Yeah.
and plus there's like a big scab back here because it still feels like there's a bump back there, but he said it was just sort of an accumulated, I guess, blood blister or something. I don't know, but
Ow.
I mean, it doesn't hurt. I mean, it's a tender, but it doesn't
Yeah.
hurt necessarily. But it's right in the dead center of the back of my head, so it's like, everything I lay against, of course, I feel
Oh.
it. And
How are
so,
you? How are you sleeping?
well, I'm a side sleeper for the most part, but
That's
I mean, it's not. I mean, if I sleep on a soft enough pillow, I can, I can lay on it. It doesn't hurt. It's just tender.
oh,
And and of course, if it's itchy, so of course, if I scratch on it, then I scratch over the actual incision, it hurts. And but they said, well, it's not quite healed up enough yet, so they're like, yeah, let's go ahead and wait. They said I could wait 1 week or two, and I was like, well, I'm not coming back in a week and it not be ready yet, so let's just go ahead and do 2 weeks.
oh. So you got to
So
wait 2 more
two
weeks.
more damn weeks
Man,
to wait.
you got to get better.
I know.
So what you been doing today, hon?
I did not do much today, actually. I didn't have a lot of orders, so I got those knocked out pretty quick. Um, I finished a book. I listen to audiobooks when I'm in the lab, or when I'm doing administrative stuff. Um, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody. In case you consider listening to these books or reading these books, um, it's called the Black Book series by James Patterson, and there's only two of them out. But what they did is Audible for free. This was part of your Audible plan, um, and that's one of the reasons why I got it. It was sort of like a prequel book,
Uh-huh.
and the main character was narrated by Aaron Paul, and I love him, and I love his voice, and I love his accent, bitch. Right? You know who Aaron
Right.
Paul is.
Oh,
You don't know who Aaron Paul is?
no.
Did you ever see? Did you watch Breaking Bad?
I think I watched a few of the episodes. A few.
Oh,
I know
was
I
Jesse
have.
Pinkman was breaking Jesse Pinkman the the partner from Breaking Bad. Anyway,
Oops.
I love him. And did you watch The Path? That was a Amazon series, I think.
No.
No.
If it's about superheroes, I'll watch it. But that's
Oh,
kind of
well,
what I
The
watch.
Path was like
Superheroes.
a almost like a it was like an occult thing.
Oh wait, I did see some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I did see some of that.
Anyway, I love Aaron Paul. And so and it was really interesting too. This audiobook was not it wasn't really an audiobook. It was more like a radio cast. Like
Okay.
or what were those the radio shows, what were they called, like back in the day?
No idea. I know that my grandparents used to talk about them all the time, but I don't
Okay,
remember
so
what they're called.
there was no narration involved. It was all dialogue. It was like listening to a TV show. There's lots of sound effects. There was a specific sound for scene changes,
Nice.
and so no narration, no
Okay.
writing necessarily. It was all dialogue. So it was really interesting to listen to, and it was pretty short too. I think it's only about 3 or 4 hours
Yeah, that is
long,
pretty. Yeah.
and so and like I said, it had Aaron Paul, and it also had, if any of you other Breaking Bad fans out there, hello Scoss, what's up?
Hey, yes, Gus.
And the Breaking Bad fans out there, it also had Jane from Breaking Bad, his girlfriend Jane, which is Kristen
Okay.
Ritter, I believe is her name.
Okay.
She plays Jessica Jones. Maybe you would know her. Okay, Jessica Jones is a superhero.
Oh,
You
yeah,
don't know
you
that
just
one
have to
either.
forgive me. I don't.
Really?
I don't. Hey,
What?
Yardbird. Hey,
You're
Chain Vapor.
supposed to be up and up on
I know. I suck.
like what's the word I'm looking for? Fashionable trends and up to date, not trends. What's the word I'm looking for? You're supposed to be involved in what's happening in the world right now.
Hide from the world. I watch old stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Okay.
do. Yeah.
Anyway, hello,
Call.
Mr. Chain Vapor, and hello, Yardbird. They are bothering me, Yardbird. I was supposed to have them out this morning, and they apparently have decided they're not ready to come out, so it was a wasted trip to the doctor.
Oh, that sucks.
I gotta wait 2 more weeks. So yes, they are bothering me. They are healing, but they are bothering me. Um, anyway, and I don't know who all the full cast is. I definitely recognize some other names in it, but I don't know who they were necessarily. Wasn't a cast list anywhere. But anyway, so and like I said, I don't want to spoil it, but of course, if you do want to read and or listen to these books, you find out in the first couple of pages uh, the situation. So here it is. So they have this little prequel thing that they put out, which was they just put out recently.
Mhm.
So it's a prequel to these two books that have already previously been published, right?
Yeah.
So you have this little 4 hour book or this 4 hour podcast basically to listen to, and you get to know these characters and you start to like them, right? So I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to read these books now. So I downloaded the first book, and the
Yeah.
very first scene, well, I should tell you also that the books are about basically a family, and they're police officers, and the two kids are twins, boy girl twins, and they're both detectives, and their
Okay.
father is the chief of detectives. So it's like a whole little cop family thing going on, right?
Okay.
And the first couple of pages of this book is the girl going to her brother's murder scene. And I'm all like, oh, hell no. You did not just let me sit through 4 hours of this prequel book, getting to know Billy and like him,
Yeah.
to kill him off in the first couple of pages. I
Oh,
mean, no,
no.
hell no.
No. Hell no.
Hell no.
Hey, Danette Dyer.
Danette, how you doing, sweetheart?
Yeah.
And so I was like, hey, I mean, anyway, so he, we're not sure he's dead yet. They,
Sorry.
they said they felt a pulse. So maybe he's okay, but then as soon as they felt a pulse, they went to a flashback. So I'm not
Uh-oh.
okay yet. I am not okay with them making me like this person over the course of a
Uh-oh.
4 hour book and then killing him off in the first couple
Oh.
of pages. I'm not okay with that.
I'm not okay for you.
Not
Bless your
happening.
heart.
Mm. Mr.
Cheesecake.
Chain Vapor, I will tell you, Capella's makes an excellent New York cheesecake, and Loran's makes a phenomenal cheesecake. Those are definitely your budget-friendly cheesecakes. So yeah,
Yeah.
I
You want
would
me to tell
say
mine too?
cheesecake. TFA's cheesecake is okay.
Yeah.
TFA's cheesecake with a graham cracker crust is a little, excuse me, a little more complex.
Yeah.
Um, I know yours has got to be Flavora. Uh,
It's not.
it's
Believe it or not,
not.
it's in
Ooh,
Awera. I use a Yes We
okay,
cheesecake and
okay.
a sugar cookie. So that's my favorite cheesecake base.
Is it okay? Yardbird makes the best puns. So let's say, is it the
What we
prequel
got?
to the series or the prequel to the sequel? Is the prequel to the sequel equal to the original? Maybe the ratings didn't peak well. I don't know yet, actually, Yardbird. It's a prequel to the series. It's a prequel that I'm picking up that it's a prequel to the series. Because, like I said, the first two books of the series, and if any of you know James Patterson, you know that he,
Yeah, we know him.
I know you do, but if
Yeah.
any of you are not readers in the audience at the moment, James Patterson, number one, cranks out about 10 books a year. Most of them are collabs with other authors, so I don't really think he's doing a whole lot of writing. I think he's just slapping his name on things, but that's a different topic. Um, and he tends to write in series. Okay,
Yeah.
um, you have probably seen a few movies that have been adapted from his books, like Along Came a Spider and Kiss the
Yeah, I've seen that
Girls
one. That's good.
and First to Die. I know those have all been adapted into movies. There might be some others. There probably are, actually.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, he's a very, very rich man. A very, very rich man. You put James Patterson on something, instant bestseller. So,
Ooh,
uh,
I'm reading.
you have Yes We cheesecake.
Yeah, it's really good. All it needed was a little more of a crust to it, honestly. It's got the cheesecake base down, but it needs more crust. So sugar cookie is what I throw it at.
I would be I would be a little I would be a little cautious. I would tread cautiously as far as mixing. I mean, yes, mixing cheesecakes is always, mixing the same flavor from different vendors is always kind of a preferable thing to do because it tends to give your flavor depth and layers. Even though it's the same flavor, it just gives it nuances that you can't get from a straight up flavor. However, if you put too many of them together, I think it's going to get muddy or muddled, I should say. It'll get muddled.
Yeah.
Um, if there is a quality, like for instance, I think Loren's cheesecake is just freaking phenomenal, like straight
Yeah.
out of the bottle. Okay. They nailed that cheesecake flavor. It is fantastic. Um, and if there's something about like a specific one that you really like, you don't really want to lose their take on it by muddling it up with other cheesecake flavors. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep. Oh, I lost my stuff. There we go. Okay.
I always use Capella New York style cheesecake. Yeah, Capella's New York style cheesecake is probably my number two as far as cheesecake flavors go. Like I said, Loren's is my favorite, and Capella's New York is definitely my number two.
Yeah. And FA came out with a new one too. It's pretty good. It's to me the Inaware is better, but the FA is pretty good too.
That's Capella's. Oh, FA?
Yeah,
Who said
FA.
FA?
Me
Okay,
did.
yeah, I would imagine FA's got, yeah, I would think FA would know how to nail a cheesecake flavor. Yeah, and
Yes.
Danette, I cannot stress that enough, actually. I really can't. Less is more, okay? I mean, I know you guys, I know you DIYers love to create your complex mixes, and complex mixes definitely have their place and time. Okay, but I am telling you, for the most part, sometimes y'all got to use the KISS method because y'all making this way too hard on yourselves.
Yeah, and it's so funny because some of the bigger mixes I'm finding from you really have few flavors. That's amazing.
From me?
Yeah, well, I'm not telling your secrets or anything. I'm just
Oh,
saying some of the mixes that I've talked to you about.
oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
like, what? How did you
yeah,
do
I mean,
that?
keep it simple, stupid. I mean,
Yeah.
really. And I know I mentioned this last night when we were on Scuba show, or no, it was my show. Scuba was on with me though, and that yes, I will be offering very soon, maybe not this week, probably by next week, four of your vaping watch flavors. Those flavors were sold to RS, and RS has chosen to come through me to manufacture them. So Clockwork's custard is coming. That is a very, 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 very complex recipe. Um, but I will tell you, the other three that I have are
Yeah.
you probably would you'd probably be shocked if you knew how simple they were.
Well, I'm going to be the first one to buy that clockwork custard from you. I want to be number one on that one. Holy crap, that's some good stuff.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, then the Clockworks custard is
Sam.
absolutely a very, very complex recipe. There's no
Yes.
question about it, and a lot of it is used in your e-liquid mix. But yeah, for the most part, you guys keep it simple, stupid. You do not have to reach around your head to scratch your asshole. I promise you.
Not today, right? Sorry, need a drink on that one.
Hello,
Okay.
I am Sam and Tetleyman. How are you doing, sweetheart?
Mr. Sam and Tetley Man. Hello.
Did I tell you that Tetleyman actually inspired our Jaffa Cakes concentrate?
Did not know
Yes,
that.
we have a Jaffa Cake strong concentrate. And he inspired it by actually sending us all the way from the United Kingdom. And they arrived here actually while I was doing a cast, which was awesome. Um,
Cool.
a real box of Jaffa Cakes and a real box of true British tea, which
Ooh.
we had with milk. David ran across the street and got some milk. Hi, Peter. And so we had our tea with milk and our Jaffa cakes, and they were just so, so yummy. Um, so
I've never had a Jaffa cake. What does that taste like?
it is basically a cookie, like a
Mm,
sugar cookie or a wafer. Um, not a sugar cookie. I'd say more like a wafer
okay.
with a dollop of like orange preserves on top, and the whole
Ooh.
thing is coated in chocolate. So you have this like chocolate à l'orange thing happening when you bite
Nice.
into it.
Nice. Nice. What did he say?
Not everybody cares for chocolate à l'orange, so
Yeah.
if you don't care for chocolate à l'orange, you probably would. However, was it sent to me or did we find it somewhere? I ended up getting another box of Jaffa cakes, but they were not made with orange. They were made with lime, and those
Mm.
were damn tasty. Those were super tasty. Somebody said,
Ooh.
"Did you end up with the recipe for the bourbon one?" Scuba like I did, dire thing.
He's.
I
I mean, he's competing with me now, though. Now we gotta have a fight.
I know because I already do offer up Michelle's Kentucky or not Kentucky bourbon custard. She just calls it bourbon custard, and or she
Yes.
calls it Bourbon Street actually.
Bourbon
It's called
Street.
Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
And so did they? Okay, they came from you too. Okay, yeah. The lime ones were damn tasty, but I'm a lime. I prefer lime.
I
So
like lime too.
I mean, I love oranges. Don't get me wrong, but I do have a soft spot for lime. Okay, passion fruit Jaffa cakes. Oh,
Mr. Chain, I've never tried that way. Like I said, I just keep it the Yes Sweet cheesecake and the sugar cookie, and that's my cheesecake. That's how I do it. Jen
who makes Yes Sweet Cheesecake?
Inawera.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Um, so yes, our thing. I will be actually offering two different bourbon custard flavors. I already currently offer TOC's Bourbon Street, which, by the way, just a fair warning if anybody who's considering getting it, it is stout. It
It's
is strong.
I say it's for real men that like their bourbon.
It is definitely for real men who like their bourbon. It is way more bourbon flavoring than I personally would have ever put in a recipe.
Yeah,
However, it is definitely a hit, and it has
it's
definitely
funny.
sold well. So but it's stout, guys. I mean,
It
you gotta
is. Yeah.
like you some bourbon. Just saying.
Yeah. You better like the bourbon or you're just not gonna like it. But it's got the cream in it and it's got a bakery kind of background to it. So
It
it's
does.
not just all bourbon.
No, it's just a lot of bourbon.
A lot of bourbon.
It's just way more than I would have used because I'm
Yeah.
not a bourbon fan. But all right, because I had, was it bourbon? I went to a vape. This was years and years and years ago. It was before Vaping Watch even released their bourbon custard flavor. Um, and there was, oh, it was way up in Dahlonega, and I can't even remember the name. I can't remember what brand it was, but they had a bourbon custard out, and or was it bourbon or was it brandy? I think it was
Hmm.
bourbon, and um, and I tried it, and it was really tasty, and I went through like 15 versions of it with another customer who was trying to create his own version of bourbon custard. We
Yeah.
just could not nail it. I just could not nail it. I mean, we went through many different versions before we finally gave up. So you need that immortal embrace.
And thank you, Danette. I'm glad you like those, honey.
Aw. Okay, that's right. That's what I'm trying to remember because I know a lot of people have purchased them, but I felt like it was a lot of the people who've purchased them have been Michelle fans and not necessarily Higgy fans. But there have been a few Higgy fans that have been like, "Hey, I want to try some of that too."
Yay. Well, I always say, you do the fruits. You are the fruit queen of the world.
I do.
And I do not do
I like my
fruits.
fruits. I like my fruits. But I'm going to go back up here. Mr. Chain Vapor says he was thinking of trying 3% Yes We Cheesecake, 2% New York cheesecake, and 1% TPA cheesecake with a graham crust. It would be a total of 6%. Um, I, the thing is what always amazes me is I do have people that come to me and ask me what I think of a recipe.
Hmm.
And I mean, obviously, I certainly can point out, look, you may not want to use that much of such and such if I know that it's very strong. But um, it kind of amazes me that people ask me that, like, what do I think of a recipe? Like, the whole point of DIYing is to try it. Go ahead. If you come up with a recipe, try it.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to learn. It's the only way you're going to learn. It's the only way you're going to get to know your flavors. And I mean, that's the only way to do it. You can't, I mean, yes, you can rely on ELR and what other people say, but when it comes down to it, it's the trial and error thing that's going to work for you because the more you get to use a flavor, the more intimate you get with how it reacts to other flavors. And so, yeah, so I mean, that sounds good to me. It sounds like a lot of cheesecake flavors, but
Oh, yeah.
being only 6% total, most of it being in Awera, probably, I mean, I would think that would work. I might drop off the TPA cheesecake graham crust and maybe just add TPA's graham cracker or Capella's graham cracker. I think the other two cheesecakes are going to be more than enough as far as fullness and richness, but that's probably the only advice I would give there. Let's see, let me catch up here. So Tellman said he had cranberry Jaffa cakes, not a fan.
Ooh.
Strawberry ones were good though. I could see that. Strawberry and chocolate. Something magical happens when you put strawberry and chocolate together though, doesn't it?
I
I
wish I
mean,
could vape it. I love to eat it.
I mean, well, you know what though, and the way David puts it too, something magical happens when you put raspberry and coffee together.
Ooh,
That's why raspberry
raspberry.
mochas are so amazing. But something
Yes.
truly magical happens when you put chocolate and strawberry together. They are just imagine. They're
Mm.
uh, they are amazing, I should say. What I thought Chocolate de l'Orange was that new WWF female wrestler.
That was a good one.
I love you, Yardbird. Uh,
Chain on me, I do a strawberry red touch by Flavor Art and strawberry ripe. I still use those. I don't know what Jen likes.
Strawberry Ripe is definitely a go-to. TFA's Strawberry Ripe. But I know you guys say TPA a lot. TFA and
Yeah.
TPA are interchangeable. Um, the Strawberry Ripe is definitely a go-to. It is definitely the more economical option. Flavor Art flavors are obviously much more expensive. They're much more concentrated, so you don't have to use nearly as much, but they're definitely more expensive. Strawberry Ripe to me is definitely a go-to strawberry. It tastes to me like, when you buy strawberries and you put them in the fridge for about a week, and they start to get a little mushy. They're not bad. They're just a little mushy,
Mm-hmm.
and they're really sweet, and they just sort of melt in your mouth. Like that's what TFA strawberry ripe tastes like to me. It smells like it. It tastes like it. It's just really, really a great strawberry to start out with and spruce it up. Yes,
That's all right.
Danette, you and Michelle are two of a kind. Most of you guys out there are rich, sinful vapors. I just can't. There's something that's so thick and heavy about a sweet, desserty, creamy, just it's too much. I can't handle it for more than a couple of vapes. I
Yeah.
need something that's light and airy, and that's why I go for fruit flavors.
The more custard and pudding in something, the better. That's my theory.
See, I don't see that yet. Where was that?
Where? Why?
I don't see that in the chat. The more custard and pudding.
Oh no, I just made that
Oh,
up.
you said that. Oh, okay, yes. That is yes, she is all about that, okay? Like
Yes.
and it was very obvious too, like not giving away any secrets here, but very
Yeah.
obvious when cuz she does have a single fruit flavor
One.
which still has a cream base, by the way. Oh, hang on a
Yeah.
second. Mom, can you get the door? Um And it still has a cream base, but you could see she struggled with it
Oh yeah.
because there's like a crap ton of fruit flavors.
Boy, did I fight that flavor. Oh my
It
goodness.
is a crap ton of fruit flavors. Mom? Oh, yeah, she got it.
Yeah. I've heard of the JF. I've never mixed with real flavors, Peter. I don't know. I think that you can change out the FA Red Touch and the sweet strawberry
Thank you.
by Jungle Flavors anytime.
Yeah, see, I've never even tried any jungle flavors. Um,
Yeah.
I
They
don't,
sent me a
when did they
they
come on the scene?
yeah, I don't even remember. I just remember they had sent me a bottle of sweet strawberry in an order that I'd done, and I tried it, and it reminded me of Red Touch FA. So,
When the funny thing about it is that any of you who have been vaping for longer than 5 years know that the FDA sort of froze our industry back in 2016. So up to that point, it was like every time I placed a flavor order, I'd pick up a few extras, just to try and create something new. Um, but when they froze the industry, there wasn't any reason for me to buy new flavors. So I really did. So I've sort of stuck. So it's like I didn't, and I back in 2016, I'd never heard of Wonder Flavors or Jungle Flavors or um, I'm trying. I don't even know. So I see some of these codes out there for different vendors, and I'm all like, who?
I know they keep
Who?
throwing. There's like a new one coming up all the time now. We've got a VSO and VTA, and
Yeah, I don't even know who those people are.
yeah, that's okay. Well, we know you make great mixes because I vape
Thank you.
almost all of your stuff. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
You can't stand Capella Sweet Strawberry. Yeah, for me, Capella Sweet Strawberry is more of a candied strawberry. Um, if that's, if you're going more of a candy flavored, uh, I would say go for Capella Sweet Strawberry. But if you're looking for a rich natural flavor, natural strawberry,
Yeah.
FA Red Touch, TFA is Strawberry Ripe. Those are definitely so.
Yes.
Now, if you're looking for more of a green strawberry, like the kind that's still green around the top, TFA's straight up strawberry is banging. Okay, it is tart. It's got that bite to it. Not very sweet. It's not
Yeah.
meant to be sweet. Um, but the straight up yeah, TFA strawberry is that tart strawberry. Like it's like it's still green.
Yeah. And I want sugar dripping off my strawberries.
Yeah, you would hate it. You would absolutely hate it.
That's okay.
Hi, one armed bandit. What's going on?
Hi,
See,
one
it's
arm.
so good to see people, old faces I haven't seen in a while.
Oh, I know
As
they miss you.
you know what, I miss you guys too. I do, and I think that this doing it on a Thursday is something I can get behind.
Yeah. I like it too.
Chewits.
SSA, yes, good flavors. I enjoy most of the SSA ones I've tried have been really good. So,
See, who's SSA? To me, that's the Social Security
so
Administration.
I'm gonna mess this up so bad. I think it's so Bucky something aromas. I just know them as SSA. I can't even say the name.
Okay.
I and Sam
Shisha,
does a
yes, the
show too.
shisha flavors. I've heard a ton of good things about shishas. Inawera puts
Yes.
out a whole shisha line. There's shisha vanilla, shisha strawberry.
Yeah.
I think there's some shisha tobaccos. There's like, I've heard nothing but amazing things about the shisha stuff from Inawera.
Yes. I love their vanilla. I haven't tried the strawberry one. And it doesn't have a tobacco taste to me. If it did, I probably wouldn't want it. But it's just like this
Yeah, I
deep,
don't think it's
rich
supposed to.
vanilla.
Is it supposed to be a tobacco
No, when I think of shisha, I think of
You
like
think
what are
of
those little
hashish. You think of
yeah.
hashish, yeah.
So I'm like, where is it at? But I was glad it wasn't there. So
You
Tim,
made it. Okay. So, are we going to do some mixing today or what?
I
Talk
am
to me.
I I am let's throw something together. I don't have my mixing thing like really set up.
Well, you said I would be doing the mixing, but you did
Yeah,
get your
you
other camera
mix.
working.
Well,
And
I do. I just don't have it
oh,
set up to where I
finally.
can switch here between us and one camera to the other. We'll have to figure out. I don't know how to do that, Jen.
I have my little scale under here somewhere.
Scaling.
There it is.
I had an idea too about a cake.
Okay.
Hmm. I know you don't like cake, so we'll do that another time, but I'll
I
share it
don't
with you.
mind. I don't mind. I just can't vape them for long.
Yeah. Well, I
Okay,
didn't
that's
share
my
it.
thing.
I said
um,
I was going to save it until the show went on tonight. So,
okay. I do. I mean, there's lots of stuff I need to try. It's just that I got, like I said, I kind of got frozen. I set up wholesale accounts with all of these other vendors. I've got a wholesale account with TFA
oh
and
yeah,
Capella's and Flavor West and One on One and Flavor Art and and so it's like I well and Get Suckered. Get Suckered was they're not around anymore. They actually merged with One on One a while back and.
okay.
I would tout off Get Suckered a lot because I felt that Get Suckered was probably the most unrecognized flavor manufacturer out there and the oldest. Like I looked up the establishment dates of these other places, and none of them had been around as long as Get Suckered. Um, but I don't know if they merged or got bought out or what with One on One, and so now One on One's library is humongous. One on One's library was already humongous, and then they more than doubled it whenever they took on Get Suckered.
I did not
Um,
know that. They've got a lot of great flavors. I have a lot of their stuff.
I tend to call their flavors, well, the Get Suckered ones specifically, and I don't think they distinguish between them on the site anymore. I called them like cheater flavors because they were a lot of like one shots. And
Yeah.
so, and we kind of called those cheater flavors, where you're getting to the end without, you know, we tended to like to keep stuff around that's more basic stuff, so that
Yeah.
if we're going to make it, we're going to create it on our own. We're not going to use
Right.
blueberry margarita to make a blueberry
Ooh,
margarita.
that
you know,
sounds good, by the way. Blueberry margarita.
we're going to make a margarita by using, lime and tequila and,
Yeah.
sugar and blueberry and, and kind of get there the old fashioned way.
And you have a tequila one on Hickeys, right?
I do have tequila.
Also, I want to
Um,
say that Angie liked that one.
yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of it, but it definitely smells and tastes just like tequila.
Yeah, I thought so because back when I first tried to get her vaping, this is my sister. We had bought her the boozy
Hi,
stuff,
Mr.
trying to
Tea
get her.
Vapor.
And I believe I was it margarita or tequila. I'm so blind.
It's probably, I think I took tequila off a long time ago. It was margarita.
Margarita. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's probably because she wanted boozy,
And
and then
it's got a strong tequila flavor to it. As a matter of fact, I had a customer who once got it
yeah,
and it was months and months later he came by here and he said that he didn't say anything to me because it wasn't. I mean, he didn't feel like it was something I would fix, but he said the tequila was just too strong, and I'm going. I was like, well, I was like, I probably could have adjusted that for you, and he was like, no, no, no. He goes, it tasted like a margarita. I just did not expect it to be have so much tequila in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean tequila. That's what a margarita. Just what is it? Margarita and a normal one is it's tequila, the sour mix, and salt, right?
um, Usually lime,
Lime.
but
Okay.
some lime, maybe some orange, some citrus flavors to go with it. So
Well, I'm in the real drink. I don't know anything about mixing one.
no, I think margarita mix is made with lime. I do.
Yeah.
Very, I mean, you put the lime in the coconut, maybe. Mhm. Do you have the tequila mockingbird? I don't. We should make a tequila mockingbird.
I want to know what a tequila mockingbird is now.
It's one of Yardbird's puns.
Oh, I love you.
You can't take anything Yardbird says seriously. He is full of them. Okay, he will take something you say and turn it into a pun expertly and quickly every time. This man has a wit as sharp as a tack.
So I guess I should warn you that I take everything seriously, and I will think you're
Yeah.
serious no matter what you say.
Hi, ladies. Hi, Specto. How you doing?
Hi, Specto. Oh my goodness.
Okay,
Okay.
so we still haven't decided because I'm gonna have to go off cam and go get the flavors we need.
Oh dear Lord, you're
So
leaving me here.
I'm still gonna be available by sound. I have
Okay, okay.
no wires, ma.
No
Um,
wires.
no wires. So tell me. Yeah, we're pretty good. I was talking earlier about I had a couple of cysts removed from my scalp a couple weeks ago, and I went today to get the stitches out, and they're not healed up enough to take the stitches out yet, so I gotta wait another 2 weeks. Not happy about
Cam,
that.
I have Jen as a talker.
This is true. This is true. This is why I knew when Scuba came on when he did the show last Thursday, we did over on his channel. I knew that her joining us was just going to be her sitting there looking pretty because
Okay.
between me and Scuba and then David joined in on the fun too. It was like
Yeah.
three alpha show people that have been doing it for years and have run
Yep.
our own shows, over and over and over again, and know how to keep an audience going and know how to keep it, keep the audience engaged. It was just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no. I am quiet. I would much rather type than talk.
Last bottle of grape juice you made for me was the best. Ah, yes,
Ooh,
our grape juice
great.
is dead on grape Kool-Aid. Like surprisingly dead on grape Kool-Aid. So,
Mm.
hello, Mad Daddy.
Hey, you mad?
Mad Daddy. All right,
Oh,
so like I said, let's talk about some mixes here. What we gonna do?
what are y'all in the mood for, guys? We're here.
I think Peter said something about a lemon sugar cookie.
Oh, I missed
Okay.
that. Okay.
No, no, not today. It was before.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Hmm.
well, that's just it. When it's just me and her, I can get her talking.
Yes, yes.
But I knew that it was between me and Scuba and David.
Yeah.
She wasn't going to get a word in edgewise.
And I kind of feel rude when I interrupt people anyway, so I'm always feeling like I'm going to step on somebody, so I just don't.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
totally need to get over that.
I know. Oops.
You saw the way Scuba and I were stepping all over each other.
That was fun. I had fun watching you. I mean, it was fun. Cherry tobacco.
Specto, I actually
Wow.
already have a cherry tobacco. I have a cherry pipe
Yay.
tobacco. That's the other thing that's frustrating because a lot of times you guys will come up with flavors I already have.
Hmm.
Um, like I have a blackberry limeade. I don't have a this. I have a blackberry lemonade, but I do have blackberry limeade. I have a cherry. It's a pipe tobacco, a cherry pipe tobacco. I have a peach cobbler. It's called Peaches and Scream. I have, let's see what else. And some of these may not be on the site yet. I think most of them are. Well, there's quite a few that are not on yet. I haven't taken the time to add them to the site yet. I had to go through and I had to calculate up the flash points because certain uh, concentrates, if they have a flash point that is lower than I think it's 140 degrees, it can't be put on a plane, which means I would either have to ship it ground, which could take forever and a day, or I would have to, well, or I have to go UPS ground, which I don't have a UPS account. Um, there I just have to take extra precautions. So um, initially, what I did is I just put the flavors up on the website that have had no ingredients that were considered flammable. So it's like, well, if none of them are flammable, then obviously it's not flammable. It's safe. But once I got done going through every single flavor I have and calculating up the flash points, I found most of them pass the test. So for the most part, now, some of them don't, and like cherry limeade, for example,
Oh,
not happening. And I think the strawberry limeade as well. I'd have to go back and look, but yeah. Um, that's just strategic, Specto. I'll just leave it at that. Uh, so let's see. Trying to the fried porn, really,
Cam,
Jeanette?
you made fried porn? I don't remember this conversation. Hey, Jamillan.
D Millen's here. Hi. How you doing, sweetheart?
Yeah, Higgy's got a great key lime pie. That used to be my mom's all-time favorite in the beginning of her vaping journey. Key
I do
lime
have
pie.
key lime pie, although I prefer the key lime ice cream myself,
Yeah.
actually. I'm still waiting for Danette to explain the fried porn thing. I need to understand that.
I think it was a mix Tam made, and she named it fried porn, I
Oh, really?
believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I need we need a judge's ruling on this. What's fried porn?
It sounds delicious. Let's,
Right?
yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Oh my gosh, sorry. It's a one shot. There we go.
Yeah, I bet it
Oh,
is, but
oh Lord. I'm getting that Southern girl heat stroke going on
getting
now. Okay.
I'm all verklempt.
Oh.
Oh, there
Oh.
it is. Okay, now when that happens, you have to stay quiet for just a second.
Peanut Butter Buster is mine, bitch.
I knew Telly Moon was going to do it. Oh, Mexican fried ice cream. Now, see, I
Oh.
tried that once and it did not come out well. So I'm impressed. I did try a fried ice cream once. Um, now, my churros came out pretty good, which is probably similar because it definitely had I know for some reason, well, when I went looking for a picture of churros, um, almost all of them had a garnish of a chocolate syrup,
Mhm.
and I did not make mine with chocolate. Mine is definitely has a an ice cream uh, garnish. So uh, I had to. What I ended up doing is that there's this wonderful little Mexican joint across the street, and they have wonderful churros. So we went there, and I ordered churros, and then I took a picture of my actual dessert, and I'm using that on my website for my
Yeah.
churros.
Nice.
So I tried Mexican fried ice cream
Yardbird.
once. Woke up 3 days later.
You are so funny.
But that is very, very cool, Tam. That you I mean, is that a shareable recipe? Because I'd be in. I'd be interested in making that. See if I have the flavors or at least something comparable to that. Sticky toffee cheesecake. Oh, that sounds good. Now, what makes something sticky? Like, tell me what you think that means. Because I got toffee, I got cheesecake. What makes it sticky?
Hmm. Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, I'm seeing what Peter thinks.
Come on,
What does
Peter.
Peter make it sticky? Because I've heard of things called sticky before, like, but I don't really know what they mean when they say sticky.
Yeah, what does that mean? I've seen like a sticky bun, and I guess it just has like a
Right.
thick
Well,
substance
I always
liquids. I
feel
don't
like it
know.
has like that glaze on it, like a
Mm,
flan glaze.
there you
Um,
go.
I would think that might make it sticky, but
Sticky.
sticky.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, I did do something today while we're waiting on that. I bought a solar light bulb.
I saw your post about that.
Yeah,
That
I'm
was
really
very, very
excited.
cool.
Yeah, let's see if it
Sticky
works.
toffee cheesecake is usually topped with a toffee that is too thin to fully set.
So it's runny.
So, okay, yeah,
Runny.
brown sugar caramel might work as well.
Yeah.
Um, what is the flan made of? Flan is like a creme brulee, maybe. Um,
What is that?
because I do have a creme brulee, which is quite popular, if I do say so
Of course, it's good. You made it. It's going to be good. You know that.
myself. It's definitely one of the ones I'm pretty proud of.
Look, I'm looking on a recipe site because I've never made a flan in my life. So condensed milk, vanilla extract, egg whites, and egg yolk and sugar. Hmm.
Okay, okay. All right. So it's more the top. It's basically toffee that's not set. I get that. Okay. All right.
Ooh, egg custard.
Caramel
Mm,
butter. That's okay.
yum.
See, now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. All right. And that is what I do, guys, actually.
Yeah.
Um, should I not try to direct vaping underground peeps to Higgy's? Oh, sure you can. Absolutely you can, Specto. There's plenty of coffee and concentrates available on Higgy's. We're still at higgysigs.com. We'll be working on maybe trying to migrate to a new name at some point. I know we have one that we bought a while back called the Flavorly, um, but I don't know if that's where we're going to go with this or not. Right now, we're just kind of dropping the SIGs off of everything because, that's how we roll.
Damn.
All right. Um, oh, you sent me a message. What did you send me a message?
Oh, I just sent you that recipe. That was it.
Oh, that's the, what is this?
The cake one.
The cake one. Okay. Okay, okay. And see, she knows what I have, so she made one
Yeah.
based on my library of flavors that I have available to me. Look at
I'm
that.
just I'm just trying to change you into like a deep rich fruity. I mean, no fruity baby. No, I'm
She's
kidding.
really trying. I don't know. I'm into that toffee cheesecake though.
Yeah, I think you
Love
should
me
do
some
that.
toffee.
I would like to make it. So if you come up with a recipe, I can vape it.
Okay. All right. All right. So let's get out our recipe book and let's let's see here. Toffee cheesecake. I do like that idea.
Me
All
too.
right.
God, that sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds like something you would absolutely love.
And I'm not flipping my hair on purpose. It keeps getting caught behind the chair, and I'm trying to just get it to
Of
stop
course
because
you are.
it's pulling my hair out.
Double flip.
Yeah, double flip. Wait, the
You
Justin
got to go
Bieber.
double flip.
God.
What about
Usually I have it
chocolate?
up.
I think we are going to go with a toffee cheesecake, a Yardbird.
Woot, woot.
Chocolate is very difficult to work with. I got it was James DeVore who I told you I was talking to on the phone yesterday. Um, who loves my chocolate, which I think is awesome. He got some more Pegasus drops, and he got some s'mores, um, and uh, and and I told him too. I was very impressed that he got not just one but two different chocolate flavors from me, and he's he said, "Oh yeah," he's like, "You nailed the chocolate," you know. And this is something, guys,
Nice.
you have to remember when you're working with chocolate. It is not a Hershey bar.
Yeah.
It's Baker's chocolate. Baker's chocolate needs shit to taste like chocolate. Okay? It needs milk, it needs cream, it needs sugar, sometimes it needs butter. Okay? It needs shit to make it taste like chocolate. Okay, so when you're working with chocolate flavors, you got to add more shit to it, just like you would if you're cooking in a kitchen. Okay? And that's what I do a lot, actually. I'll go and look up a recipe for something and then make it. Like when I made the Knickerbocker Glory. I don't know if you guys are around for that one. Um, I didn't even, Vic comes in, he says, make a Knickerbocker Glory. I said, what the fuck is a Knickerbocker Glory? I never heard of it before. And oh, look at that. I opened the chat and I made you squashed. Here we go. Hang on. Let's
I
close that.
like it. I like being
Oh, you were
squished.
too squashed, though. That was like unbelievably squashed. And so, I was like, what the fuck is a Knickerbocker Glory? And he says, oh, it's a British dessert. I was like, okay. So I, uh, uh, looked up Knickerbocker Glory. And look what it is. It had ice cream. It had meringue. It had berries, strawberry, blackberry,
Okay.
blueberry, raspberry, that kind of thing. So I used that as a roadmap to create the Knickerbocker Glory, even though I'd never had one before.
Nice.
And then after we went off air, I mean, it tasted good. I liked it, right? And then so we went off the air, and I really wanted the meringue to come out, so I started messing with the recipe, and I started pushing and pulling and tucking and tweaking, and it was not working for me. Like I couldn't get that meringue to come out. And then David commented. He said, "Why don't you turn up the wattage?" Boom. That's how you made the meringue come out. Is turn up the wattage, and it was fantastic. I sent it over to Vic, and he tried it, and I said, "How'd I do?" And he said, "Nailed it." I was like,
Nice.
"Yes!" And I've never even had one, so if I ever make it to the UK, one of the first things we are definitely going to do is go have a Knickerbocker Glory somewhere. They don't make them over here, and if they did, I'm sure they wouldn't be good, or they wouldn't be
Mm.
right.
No, baker's chocolate is not the answer if you're wanting chocolate. I agree. But yeah, go ahead, try one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Now,
I know DeMillan has the same problem I do. She can't taste chocolate. I can't taste chocolate, and she can't taste chocolate.
absolutely, Yardbird. You know what I need to do is I need to. You should type in the chat, Michelle, so I can mod you.
Oh, okay.
And Yardbird, I have no problem modding you as well, actually, because you're pretty awesome and you have been around since the beginning with us. And so, yeah. Hello, dark. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
There we go.
There you go. Now you're a mod too. All right,
I'm a
awesome.
mod. Yay.
You have blue wrenches. I don't have that many blue wrenches, so there you go.
I got
Um, so there
power.
you
Sorry.
go, Yardbird. You can post a link to your local music directory. Yardbird has been really getting out and going to a lot of live music shows. He has been performing live music shows, and he's been posting a lot of videos about it. And so, yeah, he's
Ooh.
really into the local music scene over there in Carrollton, Georgia. So
Ooh.
we do like our Georgia peeps.
Yes. Share a link. Share a link. I like music. I was telling Jen last night when I get all stressed out, I'll just go watch talent shows on YouTube. Makes me happy. Hey, Pack Rat.
Hey, Bagrat. Oh, he performed last night. Look at that. Open mic.
Nice.
Yeah, he has been slaying a guitar lately. All right.
Rock on,
So,
dude.
first thing I like to do is okay, sticky toffee cheesecake. All right. I think we definitely need cheesecake, and I already told you guys I love Lorenz cheesecake, so we're gonna put Lorenz. We're gonna start off with Lorenz. I guess we could probably add some Capellas in there. Maybe blend some Capellas cheesecake. So New York cheesecake. Those are my two faves. All right.
Mm.
We definitely want some English toffee by TFA.
Oh, you
We
guys are
definitely
close.
want some butter. I think we'll want some butter, give it that fullness, right? I don't know how I came to know so many talented musicians. My local area is dripping with musical talent. That is pretty awesome. Lorenz is the devil. I like Lorenz cheesecake, DeMillan. I mean, yeah, she's not a Lorenz fan. I know that, but there are a few flavors from Lorenz that I just feel like you cannot beat out of, and cheesecake is one of them. I think Lorenz cheesecake is the bomb. I think Lorenz peach
Yeah.
is the bomb. Lorenz
Cream cheese icing.
pineapple, cream cheese icing. I mean, you just cannot get a better flavor from any other vendor. And so, yeah, I do love my Lorenz for certain things. They definitely are not my go-to, and they definitely do not knock it out of the park every time. But oh, look, one of my disco balls stopped spinning. Look, you cannot do that to me. Come on, play. There we go. All right.
Sorry, my daughter just came in. I had to say hello.
They are against vaping, and that very much does suck. So yeah, I don't really like giving them my business because they are so against vaping. Um, but I mean, they're not like, I mean, they don't refuse to ship to me. I mean, they know what I do.
Sorry.
You I think they're just absolving themselves from liability, I think is really what it comes down to. And
Yeah.
also, you have to be very careful about what you get from Lorenz, okay? Because
Hmm.
not all of their flavors are PG based. There are quite a few of them that are oil based, okay? And big, huge warning, do not vape oils. Do not vape oils, okay? Do not vape it if it says oil soluble. Do not vape it if it is oil based. And that's the other thing too about Lorenz. Some of their stuff says that it's oil when it's not. And then other stuff doesn't say it's oil when it is. Like Lorenz amaretto is fantastic. And I don't know if they changed their recipe or what, but like when I first got it with like a little dram bottle, it was fantastic. The amaretto, I mean, spot on. I could have drank it. It was so good. Um, and then when I got a bigger bottle, it was oil based and I had to ditch
Yep.
it.
I had the same
Um,
problem.
so I don't know I don't know where that came from or how that happened, but Lorenz Amaretto, yeah, was absolutely bomb um, until you got a bigger bottle, and then yeah, oil based. What the hell?
What did you do? And I know wasn't it on your thing with Scuba last night that somebody had got some from River Supply that was oil based too.
Yep. River Supply is going out of business, or at least they are to the public.
Mhm.
Um, so they're having a big 50% off sale until supplies are gone, kind of thing. I don't really know what that means because they said that businesses can still get stuff from them, which I hope so because they're my flavor art supply. They have great prices on flavor art stuff, especially in bigger sizes. But um, I guess I'll find out when it comes time that I
Let's
need to get more
hope.
flavor art shit.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, Peach ended up getting like yeah like all the stuff she got. She was like so excited she got 50% off. And then she said, "Why does it say oil soluble?"
Mm,
That's bad. You know,
not
what
good.
amazes me even to this day is, the whole thing about the oil. It came about. We have a. It's called something now. Evali, EVALI, e-cigarette or vaping associated lung infection, which is what Evali stands for. Came about from THC cartridges that were
Yeah.
adulterated with vitamin E acetate oil. Okay, it's a very simple concept if you don't already understand it. Your lungs are 90% water. Okay, That's why our vapes are made with products that are water soluble. Okay. These products, yes, you're inhaling them into your lungs, but they're water soluble. So all the water in your lungs, it just absorbs through your lungs. It's not a problem, right? You put oil and water don't mix. So you
No.
put oil in your lungs, and the oil gets clogged into the alveoli of your lungs, right? It gets into there, it clogs the alveoli. It prevents oxygen from transmitting from the alveoli into your bloodstream, and you slowly suffocate to death. That's It's called lipoid pneumonia, and it's absolutely horrible, and it's a very slow and painful way to die.
Yes, it is.
Um, had nothing to do with responsible vaping, had nothing to do with nicotine vaping. They were all adulterated cartridges and THC cartridges. And yeah, those 68 deaths are absolutely on the FDA's. Their blood is on their hands because we told them. We told them from day one what was causing this, and they didn't want to listen to us. So no, 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 all vaping is bad. Urgh. No, no, no. Not all vaping is bad. Um, I remember watching or reading an article that said, had the perfect line. It said, when you find a bad batch of drugs on the street, you don't tell people to stop doing drugs because they're not going to.
No, of
You
course
tell
not.
people what the bad batch was so that
Yeah.
they know to look for it. Okay, and that's exactly what the FDA did. They said instead of telling people what to look for, they said, no, 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 all vaping is bad. Okay, you're not going to get 10 plus million people to stop vaping. All right,
No.
you tell them what to look for so that they know to avoid it. Uh, and what amazes me is how people then associated Ivali with popcorn lung. Okay, I mean,
Oh my
I've
gosh.
had flat out, unmovable conversations with somebody who said, uh, popcorn lung is a real thing. You know, my sister's boyfriend's aunt's niece's son died from popcorn lung from vaping.
Wow.
No, they didn't. Right? No, they didn't.
You
Popcorn
know.
lung is a completely different condition from a volley. Okay. A volley is lipoid pneumonia. It happens when you get oil in your lungs. Okay. Bronchitis obliterans, which is popcorn lung, is a completely different condition. It has completely different symptoms, and it is caused in a completely different way. But in people's minds, the layman people out there, they don't get it.
No.
They don't understand that. Um,
Well, yeah, and then they've got all these other people spouting off all this crap about vaping, and yeah, of course they're going to trust these people because they're supposed to be trustworthy, and they're just not trustworthy people. And I hate to say that, but they're not.
oh, they're not. They're not. It is. It's actually rather disgusting. The more you get into it, you think that the FDA and the CDC are looking out for your best interests. They are not.
No.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Dire thing is right. Popcorn lung has like 8 documented deaths ever. Okay.
Yeah.
People say, oh, no, no, you're going to get popcorn lung from vaping. All right, let me explain a
Please.
little something to you about popcorn lung. There were people who worked at a popcorn manufacturing facility. Okay. And they were smokers. Okay. So the people who were not smokers working at the popcorn facility didn't get popcorn lung. Okay. They had to be working 8 hours a day in a warehouse, in a plant, a manufacturing plant that was filled with diacetyl, which it was not even vaporized diacetyl, by the way. It was powdered diacetyl. It was just in the air, particles. And they had to be smokers on top of it. Okay, for this to happen. He said, oh, no, no, you're going to get diacetyl, diacetyl. Okay, let me explain something to you. There is like between 100 to 700 times more diacetyl in a cigarette than there is in any e-liquid you can find anywhere in the world. Okay.
It's crazy.
Smoking is responsible for a ridiculous number of conditions and diseases. And surprisingly, popcorn lung is not one of them.
One armed, you are crazy. I love you.
Love popcorn lung, absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my goodness.
and they never even quite proved it. They found the diacetyl in the air and they said, "Oh, that must be it," and then they just stopped searching for the reason.
Yeah, I mean, if it has to do with vaping, it's bad. It doesn't matter what you say, it's bad to them. I'm just so sick of them all.
Well, and that's the thing, if you don't, people don't realize you can't just walk out into a tobacco field, pick some leaves
Mm.
off of a plant and roll it up and smoke it, right? It's harsh, it
Yeah,
burns. It's not flavorful. It does not taste good. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
What do they do? What do they do to make it taste good? They put things in it like diacetyl and chocolate and butter.
Yep.
Okay. Milk, fat. Okay. They put things into the mix to make the cigarette palatable. They make it
Yeah,
smoother. They make it taste good and they make it more addictive.
yeah. That's sad.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean, you got what I was trying to say.
I got
The
you.
opening act
What?
for Poison.
Uh, hey, I might have seen that one. I might have been to that concert.
I
Oh
saw
man.
one of those like tasty videos this morning that said, I don't know, I'll have to try it sometime. You could take an ear of corn, you can rub butter all over it, and you can stick it in an air fryer, and it will pop the popcorn. It will pop into popcorn on the cob. I don't
Oh
know.
boy, I can't eat popcorn or corn, so I don't know, but that's a good. I've got an air fryer.
I
If
don't
you want
know.
me to test it, I'll try
It's
it.
it's just I think his Instagram is called the Air Fryer Guy.
Okay.
He's like Australian or something, and he's all like he comes over. He made pancakes. He made pancakes in the air fryer. Okay,
Lord have mercy, I want to see that.
he put a layer. He put a sheet down of like parchment paper.
Uh-huh.
Poured some pancake batter on top of that. Laid down another sheet. Poured some pancake batter on top of that. Laid down another sheet. Poured some on top of that. I mean, like 6 layers. Popped in the air fryer. I don't remember the settings. Pulled out fully cooked fucking pancakes.
I'm going to look at that when we get done tonight because I need to see that. I don't know. I don't know if I don't want to show my kids that they can make pancakes in an air fryer.
In the air fryer. Pancakes in the air fryer. And then he
It's
pulled out. He
crazy.
he took an ear of corn. He slathered butter all over it. I mean, like a good quarter inch of butter all
Wow.
over it. Okay. Popped that baby in the air fryer. Punched in the settings. When he pulled it out, it was a cob full of popcorn.
I got to see that because I don't even know how that would work. I've got to
I
see it.
know, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen The Sausage Man?
I don't think so.
This is hilarious. This dude, we do our own sausage here. He takes everything like bagels, pizzas, all kinds of stuff and puts it into sausage wrapping and then fries it up. Yeah, that was kind of cool too. The sausage, man. Really, it's sausage.
All right. I do not want to put a crust on this. Maybe you guys might want to put a crust on yours, but I do not want to
Uh-oh.
put a crust on this. All right.
Well, it's
So
a flan, right? It's a flan you're doing,
well,
right?
we're not making a flan. We're making a sticky toffee cheesecake, but I don't think but
Uh-oh.
it's flan like.
Okay, flan like, yeah.
Hi, Papa Babes. What's up? All right. So, okay, when I decide how much I'm going to use of something, okay, I look at the list of flavors I put together, and I use 2 cheesecakes, Lorance and Cabela's, and toffee and butter. You know what? We need some vanilla in there too.
Oh, vanilla everywhere.
Yeah, we need some vanilla. Somebody suggested maybe I could use vanilla pudding. I could do that in honor of you. How about we do that?
Vanilla pudding
We'll
for
do
the
vanilla
win.
pudding. We'll do vanilla pudding just for Michelle. Just for
Yes,
Michelle. We're
my
gonna use
favorite
vanilla
flavor.
pudding. All right. All right. So we're gonna use Lorraine's cheesecake, Capella's New York cheesecake, toffee, English toffee from TFA,
I have
uh,
that one. Yes,
butter from TFA,
I have that.
and Flavora's vanilla pudding. All
I
right.
might have a big old bottle of that.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do. Okay. You gotta write this down because I'm gonna go in the lab. You have to tell me what to get. Okay.
Oh crap! Hold on, let me do it again. Then let's go. Okay, so what are we doing again?
We're doing Lorraine's cheesecake,
Lorraine's cheesecake. Okay.
Capella's New York cheesecake,
New York cheesecake, got it.
English toffee,
It's toffee,
butter,
butter,
and vanilla pudding.
Miller pudding,
Yep. Okay.
got it.
Yeah, flavor, absolutely flavor of vanilla pudding. All right. So now I tend to look at these flavors and I kind of start, I usually I know a lot of you guys don't go for 15%. I usually go for 15% flavoring. I kind of like to work backwards and kind of work my way up to 15%. Um, this one probably won't need 15%. I think I'm going to go to 10% on this one. Um, um, but I'll start and I'll say, okay, what is the strongest flavors I'm looking at here in this list? Definitely vanilla pudding and toffee. Okay. But vanilla pudding is going to be like our blender flavor. Okay, so I'm going to wait. I'm going to see what I want, how I want to piece these flavors together. And then whatever's left over, if I haven't gotten to 10% yet, I'm going to fill it in with vanilla pudding. Okay, because vanilla pudding is going to be our flavor that sort of brings everything together. All right.
Brings it together.
All right. So
Okay.
I know that toffee is very strong. All right. So I'm going to keep that
Yeah.
pretty low. But maybe not too terribly low because, we definitely want to taste it. We don't want it to
Yeah.
blend with other flavors. We want to taste it. And let's see here. We want to use a lot of cheesecake. And butter is also a very blender flavor. You don't really taste the butter necessarily, but um, it gives it a fullness, right?
Yeah.
So
Butter makes it better.
butter makes it better.
I'm sorry if I can't stop talking. I have little
Nah, it's
boys that
okay.
are trying to scream. So.
It's all right.
Oh my God, Yardbird, you're hilarious.
What did he
You get
say?
the talking about getting the nasty off note, and he's like, that happened to me with an old girlfriend once.
What is D Millen saying? She gets a nasty off note with what?
Vanilla swirl. She can. I think she gets.
Yeah,
Is it? I can't say that word. Butric acid. Bleh.
butric acid.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was really kind of TFA's attempt to make a vanilla custard without using diketones. Um, and I don't even think to this day they have a DX version. For those of you who are familiar with TFA's library, they have a whole series of flavors where they put a DX in front of it, and the DX just means X on the diketones. I mean, that's really what that's for, X the diketones, all right? Diketones are diacetyl, propylene no, uh, acetyl, acetylpropionyl, and acetone. Those are the three diketones. They never use diacetyl in anything. As a matter of fact, I spoke with Linda Andrews at one point, and she told me that they're actually insured against using diacetyl in any of their products. However,
Okay.
acetylpropionyl and acetone, which are other diketones that are very, very similar to diacetyl, they do use those flavors or they do use those chemicals. And when those chemicals come together with other chemicals in flavoring, it can actually catalyze into trace amounts of diacetyl over time. So they're not actually any diacetyl in it, but there's a chemical reaction that can happen inside the flavoring itself, which creates some diacetyl. That's just the long and short of it there. But I would imagine everybody in this room is like, bring on my diacetyl. It's delicious.
It's good.
It's
Give it to me.
delicious.
I need it.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So I need to see. Yes, I need to get that. I need to bring my VG, PG, and a bottle. All right. I think I'm ready. Oh, and
She's
nicotine.
ready.
Hello. We need nicotine too, right?
Definitely, we gotta have that.
Right. Oh, so you guys probably want to know what recipe I came up with. All right. So pretty simple. I'm going to use 3%. Now, y'all, if y'all taking notes, I'll give you a minute to grab something to write on. Y'all always ask me to repeat it. I'm gonna give you a minute. You got it? You got it? Okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
3% of Loran's cheesecake. 1.5% of Capella's New York cheesecake.
Yeah.
1.5% of TFA's English toffee. 2.5% of TFA's butter. And 1.5% of Flavora's vanilla pudding.
Pudding.
Okay. So I'm going to go get my supplies. I can still talk to you, so I haven't left you or abandoned you in any way.
Okay.
But
Okay. No leaving me.
I'm not leaving you. I promise. I'm not leaving you. I just got to turn off my camera while I get up and walk away. Let's see. Where am I?
Nope. She said you could use a crust if you wanted to. She wasn't going to do a crust.
Yeah, I'm not going to do a crust because I'm kind of looking at this as more like a flan. But if you want to add a crust, I would say no more than 1.5% of graham cracker. If you want to add to it. Like I said, I don't think this needs a crust. I think that I'm kind of hoping this is going to come out more like a flan. If it does, score.
I've got faith. I got the faith.
Do you, Chris? That is not an easy one to work with. I mean, we have tried, oh my gosh, we've probably tried 5 or 6 different root beers. They all suck.
You don't want to know what my favorite root beer is again.
Oh, what flavor?
You know it. You know it. You
Opposite
stick
flavor.
you stick root beer together with vanilla ice cream and you don't need anything else. It's
See,
so
I have not
good.
tried Flavor's root beer.
It's so good.
So,
It's
yep.
yummy. Let me make you spend more money. No,
Now, I believe I have, let's see here. I'll look through my samples. I'm almost positive I have some New York cheesecake somewhere instead of getting the big bottle out. Let's see. Yes, there we go. New York cheesecake. Haha.
I couldn't find mine earlier today.
And Loren's cheesecake. And toffee. Where's my toffee?
Her toffee has run away.
My toffee. And we're going to do vanilla pudding.
You don't like it at all, Tam? No root beer at all?
What am I missing? Butter.
Butter.
Butter. I might have put too much butter in it, but like I said, with butter, I'm not really worried about it because it's not something you really taste. It kind of works on the back end.
Yeah. Well, I think she focuses she focuses on the mixes that she's already doing, DeMillan. So I mean,
I focus on what? Who
oh,
said
she
what?
was wanting to get you with some of the new flavors, and I was telling her you do with the mixes that you're actually selling. So I'll
Oh,
let you read it when you come back.
okay. I can do that.
Yay!
Okay, let's see
Sorry.
here. I gotta go find me a bottle now. Oh.
Sorry, I keep having to yell at my kids, tell them to be quiet.
Oh, you know what? It's okay. We understand you have a life and you have
Oh
a
no,
family.
I've got loud children's what I have.
I um, uh, um, kind of wish you hadn't put the chickens outside.
I know that would
I
have been
like
so
the
much fun.
chirping.
I go out there and they run to me and they're
I,
just like, "Okay, what have you got for us, lady? What do you got?"
I want a chicken.
Well, I'm gonna have plenty. You know, we ended up with 3 roos. I thought we only had, 1 or 2. We have 3 roos and,
What's a roux?
roosters.
Oh,
So we're
you
gonna have
got
a whole bunch of
boys?
chickens.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
Yeah. So it's
What?
11 girls and 3 boys, and I'm not sure if they'll get along together. We're gonna have to see what happens.
Oh my God. That is crazy.
DeMillan, I've got them on my Facebook page. I have some live videos of my chicks.
She has chickens. Oh, and they're so
Yeah.
cute.
I also have photos of them. I'm becoming like the chicken lady.
And she's got foghorn leghorn.
Yes.
One of her roosters is foghorn leghorn.
Foghorn Leghorn. Danette, my youngest baby is 14. My other son is 17. Those are my teens. And then my girls still live here. They're 24. And my oldest son doesn't live with me anymore. He's 31. So that's all my youngins.
And they
But my
are
14,
rambunctious.
oh my goodness, they are like throwing each other over a couch, my boys.
They are rambunctious. They are. We went out to dinner. We were passing through. Well,
Hmm.
not really passing through. We took a little bit of a detour on
Yeah.
our way back from Biloxi to see Michelle. And
Yay.
yeah, we went out to a Mexican restaurant, and they were very well behaved. Don't get me wrong, but you could
Yeah.
tell they had some ants in the pants.
They were ready to flip a table, and you know it.
They were so ready. I mean, so ready. They were just, yeah, they had some serious ants in the pants going on.
Oh yeah, and my boys are like 6 feet. One of them 6'1", the other one's 6'2", and they're big boys. So yeah, when they get in, when they start moving around, they're making some noise. Hey, Mix a lot. Oh, Danette, man, I love my chickens. I mean, I will cry over my chickens.
I was just when you told me that you were getting so many of them, I was like,
Yeah,
do you have the space for them? And she's like, oh yeah, I've done this
yeah,
before.
yeah, and we're gonna, I said I wasn't gonna free range them again because I had the problem about 3 years ago. That's why we quit raising chickens. But they want to be out of the pen so bad. So as soon as they're a little bigger, I may let them free range for a couple hours a day.
Now
I'm just gonna
my
watch them.
when my cousin told me that one time she sent me a message. She says we're kind of sad here today because we think that a fox or a raccoon got into the yard last night and killed one of our hens. And
Oh,
I went, wait a minute, what? I said,
oh,
she does not live out in the, okay, Michelle lives out in the sticks, people. Okay,
yeah,
you got to drive to like 30 miles before you reach the sticks with
yeah,
Michelle. Okay.
yeah.
But my cousin lives in Orlando. Like her physical address is Orlando, in the city limits of Orlando,
Yeah.
and she's like in a gated community, and kind of thing. And I'm like, wait, you have chickens?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. And it turns out actually that didn't happen. The chicken was just hiding.
Oh, good.
But she's like, yeah, we have two chickens. And I'm like, wait a minute, wait. How do you have two chickens? Like, you live in the city. How do you have chickens? She's
Yeah.
like, we have chickens.
Yeah, they have like little coops, you can go down
Yeah.
to the tractor place and just pick up the little teeny coops.
Oh yeah, she said that they had a coop, and she said they run around the yard all day, and they peck at the grass, and then when they're ready to lay, because they lay one egg a day,
Yeah.
right? And so they when they go into the coop, they lay their eggs. They leave it like a little present for us, and then they
Oh,
go back out in the yard, and it goes in at nighttime. They just go back in there and go to sleep. She's like, they're really easy to take care of, and I was like,
they are, but
seriously? She's like, oh yeah. She's like, but we're overrun with eggs. I'm like, we would not be overrun with eggs here. We love our eggs,
oh, me too. I'm doing the keto, so I'm eating eggs all the time.
right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, um, but she was like, yeah, we get two eggs a day, and I'm like, so I was like, they're not protective over the eggs, like they're not, like they just leave them for you. She's like, yeah, she goes, it's like a little present.
Yeah.
It's like a little present to say, hey, thanks for taking care of us. And I'm
Unless
like,
they
so
get broody.
well, yeah, and she said sometimes they do, and if that's the case, then you can get like a fertilized egg for them to
Yeah.
sit on. Um, but she says no, for the most part, they just lay one egg a day, and I'm going. So all chickens lay one egg a day, like that's how that works? And she was just like, yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm like, so I started thinking about this,
Yeah.
and thinking about like the kind of the biology behind it, right?
Mhm.
And I'm going, a chicken's sole purpose for being on this planet is to like feed other creatures.
Hmm.
They lay one egg a day. They ain't eating their own eggs.
Yeah,
So they lay an egg every single day just to feed another creature.
which is kind of
That's
nice.
really cool,
Yeah, it's nice.
you know?
And I'm going to have 11 eggs a day. That's a lot of
Oh
eggs.
my God. No, you're not. You said you had three roosters. Wait,
Well, yeah, but
you
I
have,
also have 11 chicks, 11
oh,
girls.
so three roosters on top of the 11 girls.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of eggs.
Yeah, but I have, I will give them out too. So
Chickens
I
only
will.
have one hole. What?
And, my extra ones too that my mom and them don't get, I can give to the food bank because we have a local food bank here and they like eggs. So,
See, now this is why I wish I lived closer because I would just come take those eggs off your hands all the
yeah.
time.
And I'm going to have I'll have the white eggs, I have brown eggs, and I have an Easter egg or two that lays little green ones. So.
Specto, he'll be fine. I promise.
Yardbird, we forgot about Yardbird for talking about you. Go ahead, take it, sweetie.
Okay, so
How's it
wear
going?
gloves, people. Okay, not so much for the flavoring. Okay, but for the nicotine. When you're handling nicotine, wear gloves.
Yes,
Just
well,
fucking
they're
wear them.
bent. Yeah,
So, oh, so the eggs really do come out their butts, huh?
yeah. I mean, and that's something. If you really want to get gross, we have to clean their little vents, their little poopy butts, their pasty butts when they get stopped up. It's pretty nasty, but it has to be done.
Yeah, I actually had to do that for Fizz gig last night. So,
Yeah,
because
it's not fun, is it?
when you have a long-haired dog, they tend to get little dingleberries, and sometimes the hair gets knotted, and if
Oh,
and if you don't keep up with it, and it gets knotted over the exit, and
yeah.
it kind
No
of
exit sign. Yeah, you
yeah,
got to
and
fix
so
it.
you have to make sure that make sure the walkway stays clear is what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah, the poop shoot. Talking
um,
about chickens.
we were talking about yard birds actually. Yard bird. We were talking about her chickens and how
Yeah,
she's got 11. She has 14 of them, but turns out three
yeah,
of them are roosters. Now, how
yeah.
did you know that they're roosters? Did they start growing the things on their head? And
Well, that and my husband knows how to tell by the way the feathers curve, which I don't, but he does. So
okay,
he's used to do a 4-H raising of poultry and cows and goats and all that stuff. So
yeah, I really
not
like.
much.
I can vape while I mix. Now I couldn't vape when I used to mix in the lab, so this is kind of cool.
Nice.
Um, And so yeah, so she has 11 chickens and three roosters, and so she's in the very very near future going to get 11 eggs a day because they lay one egg a day. We were talking about how cool chickens are because chickens they solely exist to feed other animals, which I think is really cool because they
That
they
is
they
nice.
lay an egg a day. And even out in the wild, a wild chicken is going to lay an egg a day,
Yeah,
and some other creature is going to come along and eat that egg. They're not eating their own eggs, so
yeah,
that's I just think that's kind of a cool little biology thing, that
yeah,
that they really don't have any other purpose except to feed other animals, which is really
yeah.
cool.
We were raising rabbits up here too, but we had to stop because rattlesnakes love baby rabbits. Anytime they had a baby, we would have like 3 or 4 rattlesnakes show up in the yard.
Oh, that's horrifying. Are roosters
Yeah,
good eating? I
I'm not
don't
either.
know.
They're my
I mean,
pets, so
I don't know if I don't. I mean, how are you going to control that though? Are you going to keep them separate?
I don't even know what we're gonna do
Because I
right now.
thought that you can only have one. Are they like other animals where you can only have one male?
Well, you're supposed to have the way that I was told is you're supposed to have run blah, 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 rooster for every 8 females. So worst case scenario, my son is going to take a rooster and a few little chick hens home with him. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to kill him. I can't do that. That would break my heart.
Right, but I mean, you
So,
said you say so if he takes one rooster and three uh, chicks home with him, that still leaves you with an excessive
well,
rooster.
no, I will probably let him take the rooster and then get 2 more chicks because they're still doing them at Tractor Supply down there.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know. Yeah, because
But
you're
as far
right.
as the mating thing goes, you're going to keep them separate or
No, I mean, I figure if they want to mate, they can. I've been doing a lot of reading on backyard chickens to where you can actually eat eggs that have been fertilized, so that's fine. But which is kind of
okay.
sad, I guess, but it's still
And
fine.
how can you tell the difference if they're fertilized or not?
There's a way that you can hold them up to the light and look at them.
Okay, all right.
So yeah,
I
there's that.
remember getting one. I was young. I got one time because I broke it open, and the part that's supposed to be clear, like I was going to cook it,
Got a
and the
red
part that's
dot.
supposed to be clear was red.
Yeah, the little red
And
dot.
no, not just a red dot, it was red, red.
You okay?
And
No,
I was all like, Daddy, what's wrong with this? And he said, Oh, that was a fertilized one.
fertilized. Yeah.
He said, I mean, not anymore. Don't worry. I was like, Did I kill it? No, no, no. That was in the refrigerator, honey. It was dead for a
Yeah,
while.
it
But
was gone. Yeah. Yeah, I did read about that too. And as far as there are meat chickens and there are laying chicks, so I guess you'd have to look to see if the rooster was uh, a meat chicken. I don't know. I've never really studied that because I'm not interested in eating them. So
right, but you're going to be interested in eating the eggs.
yeah, I'll eat
So
the
how are you
eggs,
going to
but
be tell which eggs are fertilized and which aren't?
I'm not. You know, if I get them out and even if they're fertilized, we'll still eat them. We just do them that day. So or put them in the fridge because you can still eat fertilized eggs.
Okay. All right.
At least according to backyard chickens. If it's wrong, then I'm going after them. Not really, but I figure they know what they're talking about. They raise chickens and sell them, so let's hope they do.
Just like beef cattle and dairy cattle. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
All right, well,
Oh,
let's
I
do
would
this.
love to have a milk cow. Okay, let's stop farming talk.
Let's do this. Let's do this. All right.
Okay, party time.
So, yeah, and you can't see because of the angle. I don't know if I don't really have an angle here. Yeah, okay, we can do it all the way up there, I guess, if you guys want to see the. All right. So, I am a big fan of LDPE bottles because they're
Mhm.
squishy, like that. See, squishy, squishy. So I like to use those. Oh, you know what? I should put this in. I don't have a. I need to open up ELR.
Uh-oh.
Cause I don't know. I'm not mixing by weight here, so I gotta enter this shit in to ELR. I usually mix by volume, guys. So if I'm gonna do weight, I need to see what. Let's see, no
Scale,
water,
scale, scale.
nicotine strength, blah 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 blah. Okay, let's see. Add flavor. LA cheesecake. There we go. Add flavor. Uh, New York cheesecake. Come on. There we go. Add flavor. English toffee. English toffee. English toffee. Where is it? English toffee. Why can't I find it? English toffee. Come on. There we go. The flavor apprentice. Uh, butter. Butter, butter, butter. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of butter in here.
Butter.
Oh, let's see, butter. Oh wow, it's not okay. It's not in here. How about I go TFA? No. Oh well. All right. Add flavor and vanilla pudding by Flavora. Okay. Percentages: 3% cheesecake, 1.5% New York cheesecake, 1.5% toffee, 2.5% butter, and 1.5% uh, pudding. Okay. All right, so now we got some weights here to work
Woo,
with.
woo. Yardbird, you are cracking me up, dude.
I, I can't see what he's saying because I have a different tab open, so you'll have to tell me what he's saying.
If you mix by weight, do you ever get done? It's a heavy question. I'm sure using an ounce of sense, you'll pound out the answer. Caw.
Call, we know, call. All right, so put your bottle on your scale so that it will go ahead and weigh that out for you. You see it's gone negative, right? So there we go. See, are we on grams? Yes, we're on grams. The scale goes to 100ths. That's definitely the kind of scale that you want. Thousandths would be better, I suppose, but hundredths will do. All right, so we are going to put 0.9 of cheesecake.
Heck, no, that
Moran's
was good.
cheesecake. Look at that jump up. There we go. You get close like this, one drop.
One drop. One drop.
And you have to like hold your breath too, because it will.
Oh, it'll definitely go over most of mine if I'm doing
Yep,
the live.
92. There we go.
If I do Mixin live, every time I'm over, I'm like, I don't even care. Just get
Yeah, it's fine.
As long as it's not nicotine, I really don't care.
It's fine. Even nicotine's not going to kill you. Oh, it went up to 94. Okay, so then we want to tear it out. I said tear it out. Come on. There we go. All right. So 0.45 of New York cheesecake.
New York cheesecake. After we get off, I'll have to make this. I just want to know what it tastes like.
You
It
should be
sounds
making
good.
it with me.
I know I should be, but I can't do two things at once.
If you breathe on your scale, if you have a scale that's this sensitive, if you breathe on it, it will register the force of your breath.
Y'all are killing me with these chicken jokes, man.
There we go, 0.46, close enough for government. All right, English toffee.
That mixed with that flavor in forever.
Oops.
I don't know why.
Do what?
The English toffee. Back in the day, I could never get it to balance out.
Oh, I love me some English toffee.
So I'm definitely making this because I want to see how it's supposed to be done. I think I have 7 toffees and I never could get them to work for me. So I just quit. You know, I'm one of those people that gets really frustrated. I'll try about 12 times. If it doesn't work, I'm throwing you out a window. You're done.
I do like TFA's toffee. It's pretty tasty. All right, so tear that out. This does not seem, there it goes. It doesn't seem to want to tear very well. Shake and always shake your flavors, people.
Shake and not stir.
All right, 0.75. Now, for the most part, the volume and the grams are usually pretty close. So, but if you're going to start one way, stay that way. Like, if you're going to mix by weight, mix by weight. I bet that's going to go over. Nailed it!
Nailed it. I don't even know if I could mix by volume anymore. It's been so long.
Oh, yeah, you could. They're pretty much the same. But, you know, there's going to be some discrepancies with some flavors that are heavier than others. And so if you're gonna mix by volume, always mix by volume. If you're gonna mix by weight, always mix by weight. All right, and 0.45 of pudding.
Pudding.
This would be Michelle's signature flavor.
Pudding. Everybody should put pudding in everything.
She really is crazy about it.
I am. I get called out on that all the time. If I have a recipe without pudding, they are laughing at me. Something's wrong with you today. You're not using pudding. Gotta have it.
0.48, close enough for government. Okay. Next, we want our nicotine, and this is the real reason you're wearing gloves, people.
I've got to go buy more gloves too. I ran out.
All right, so we want 0.93. Oh, we gotta tear it out.
Wait, with my accent and talking about your kids makes me think that you have said this before. What? What have I said before?
He heard that mama bear coming out.
Oh. All right, Specto, I'm waiting, man.
That's what that was when your accent got thicker. You were like, mama bear's coming out.
Uh-oh. I just don't hear an accent in my voice. They say they hear one. I do not.
Really?
I do not.
Okay, that says 0.91, and I just know if I put another drop in there, it's going to go over. One more drop.
You got it. You got it.
0.94. Close enough. All right, and then we want PG. And look, I'm shaking my PG. Really?
Yeah,
I
I
need to
do
shake
it
my
too. Just
PG?
have it. Just have it.
Do I really need to shake my PG? I don't think so.
Danette, we have to tell everybody to use gloves. Yep, use gloves, doggone it.
Use
There you go.
gloves, people.
There you go. It's been
All
said.
right. So we're going up to 529. So we can squirt a bit in there.
Squirt all that stuff in there. Yardbird, I for one am glad Michelle is putting us on. She is in the thick of it all, astir. I think she also takes care of it before things come to a boil. He's killing me. I had to share it.
He's so great.
Yes, he is.
What were we doing? 529, right? Oh, look at that. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
All right.
Boom goes the
Now,
dynamite.
some of you people might take the time to weigh out your VG, but at this point, the fact of the matter is filling up your bottle is, I mean, it may not be exact. I could weigh it for you. This says I'm supposed to use 26.49, but this bottle is supposed to be 30 milliliters when you go right up to the neck, okay, right up to the neck of the threads, right? So if I just take this bottle that I've meticulously weighed all the stuff out and just smack it up with VG, you're good, okay? So, but if we want, we'll see how close it is. All right, so we're gonna turn it on. All right, and then I'm just gonna fill this bad boy up with VG, and let's see.
Mix a lot. I don't shake mine either, but sometimes I'll
25.46.
forget.
Now that said 26.49. So see, if I had tried to put 26.49 in there, I'd be almost a whole gram over
Look at that.
spilling out the top. Okay. So is this bottle a little short? I mean, maybe, but wouldn't you rather be lightest on the VG than anything else? Because
Yeah.
if you took that percent, if you took a gram of weight off of any other ingredient in this bottle, it's going to seriously affect the way it tastes. Okay.
Yeah.
So I made this a 30-70 blend, 30% PG and 70% VG. And you could take a gram off the PG, I suppose, but the VG is going to be the biggest part of the bottle, and therefore taking a gram of weight off of that is going to affect it the least. You definitely don't want to mess with the flavors because that's the most important part.
Yes. It's all about the flavor.
All about that base. Okay. So now that I have my bottle, get my little that and that. Okay, now you can see the flavors have all gone to the top. You may not be able to see that actually, but the flavors have all gone to the top because they're lighter. VG is much, much heavier than PG or your PG flavors. So when you put the VG in there, it's going to push all the other ingredients to the top. So you want to shake, shake, shake. Now DeMillen, she straps these bad boys to an electric knife and goes, the demillinator.
DeMillen wants to know if you're afraid of cross-contamination squeezing the VG that way.
No. Well, number one, because I don't, wait, where am I? Let me see. Let's go back this way so I can look at you guys. Number one, I don't ever do that with the drops. Like, I don't ever do that. I pull out what I need in the syringe and I put it straight on in there. So the chances that any of the flavoring gets on the side of the neck is so incredibly small, especially because well, it's just really, really small. you know, um, and so plus I've and it would just be on the outside too. Let's see, wait, let me get a paper towel. You should have paper towels on hand too.
Yep.
But now that you said that, because I don't normally do this, I'm going to make sure I wipe off the outside of this because just in case that did happen. Um, your shaking
Yeah,
method is cutting edge. Yes, it is.
mix a lot. I think Jen buys the same bottles all the time, don't you, hun?
I found different bottles sold as 30 mils do hold different amounts of volume, cannot be consistent. Yes, that is actually very, very true. Um, and I will be honest with you, it's one of the reasons why we still use them for concentrates, but when we were making e-liquid, we stopped using them for e-liquid because the quality of them had just gone downhill. They're good for concentrates, and they're definitely work for concentrates. But that's why you saw I had the nozzle was separate from the cap. Usually the nozzle comes pre-installed in the cap, but I've painstakingly taken the time to separate them because I can't always guarantee that the nozzle is going to fit on the bottle. Um, Sometimes it's too small, sometimes it's too big. The quality of these has just really, really gone downhill over the years. When we first got these in, they were dead on, exactly 30 milliliters. And the tips and the caps were secure, and had very few defects. And over the years, the quality has just slowly declined, and we just could not put e-liquid in those bottles anymore. Um, I mean, it sometimes it's 29 milliliters, sometimes it's 29 and a half milliliters, sometimes it's 30.2 milliliters. Like the quality is definitely not there. Um, but for concentrates, I think it's definitely more forgiving than with e-liquid.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Specto. If they do, though, we could have a new True Blood drink.
oh my goodness.
Replacement for human blood tears.
Oh, was he talking about the cross-contamination thing? No, no, no. She had a good point, Specto. I mean, I wouldn't want any flavoring getting in, into this bottle. This is pure VG, and it needs to stay pure VG. Um, no, she had definitely had a good point there. But the way that I work on a daily basis, that would not be a problem. It, you know, I don't do this weight mixing thing or drop thing. It's not how
No, and I love seeing you in the big lab. It's cool. It is cool.
it's not how it works.
Yes, but you can't leave me, Nicole. You can't leave and go to the lab.
Well, I could go. I have a camera in there.
Yeah.
That's how I used to do it. You saw me do my DIY shows
I
before. I
know, and
used
I
to mix.
loved it. It was like, I want to come mix in that lab so bad, and I still
Well,
haven't
come
came.
visit.
I know I need to come up. One day, if I have no kids, I will come up for a week. Oh my
That's
goodness.
okay. It's all good, Specto. All right, so I think we're pretty mixed enough here. Oh wow, I got to pull out an RDA. All right, let's see. What do I want to do here? Let me find one of my singles because I think I'm going to use. I don't even know if any of these are charged. Guess I'll find out here in a minute. So we use this. This is the IPV D4 with a gold.com and a Tips for Tanks drip tip. Let's see if this battery is charged. Good enough.
Yay. That's not your Zeus RTA.
Well, no, that's a tank. I can't test out a flavor in a tank.
Okay.
Oh, D-Melon, it's not the first time I've mixed by weight. And no, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. We have to understand too, I make bulk quantities of stuff, you know? So I mean, literally, I can go in and have a bottle. I can make my own bottle of e-liquid in about 30 seconds, okay? Because I've already got the flavor concentrate made that I want to use. I've already got the base mixed made up
Nice.
that I want to use. I walk in there with a bottle. I pull out the concentrate. I pull out, if it's a 120 mil, I pull out my 18 milliliters or 24 milliliters, depending on, or however many, whatever works for that particular recipe. Um, I pull out let's just say 18, pull out my 18 milliliters, throw it in the bottle, grab my base bottle, and I'm done. Like it literally takes me 20 to 30 seconds to make a bottle.
That's
It takes
cool.
me longer to label it than it does for me to fill it. So mixing by weight is just not feasible because I'm generally working in bulk quantities and I have stuff pre-made already. I know there are people. And mixing by weight would work. I mean, it can work, and I know that there are e-liquid manufacturers out there that do mix even large quantities by weight. Um, but I don't know. Like, I mean, the workflow that I've designed was, hi,
Hi, Mom.
hi, mom. Oh yes, thank you for helping relay the chat because I can't always watch the chat though. All right, so what are we gonna do here now? We are going to. Oh man, that shit's on tight. I haven't used this in a hot minute.
You're
That's what she said, right?
welcome, Mix-a-Lot.
Oh my gosh, this is really on time. Okay, let's see here. How do I get this off the deck? Ah!
And it's the most beautiful woman in the world.
What, your mom?
Yes.
Hmm.
The love of my life.
Well, it is pre-coiled, but it is not wicked. And that means it is clean, which is pretty cool. Although apparently not that clean because, okay.
That's a pretty box mod.
You have, say, 5 flavors that are popular enough to make 5 liters a week.
Who's Hood?
No. I think you meant would. Would you have like say 5 flavors that are popular to make 5 liters a week? No, or do you have? No. But I have flavors that I make in the lesser flavors that don't get purchased as often. I put in 120 ml bottles, so just little 4-ounce bottles of just straight up concentrate. If it's a more popular flavor that I use more often, I will make a 16-ounce bottle of it. I do have some flavors that I do make in gallons. It's because I do go through them quick enough. The thing is I don't want to tie up, like for example, let me pick out one of my lesser selling flavors. Oatmeal raisin cookie. It's not for everybody. I have a few fans that are die-hard fans of it. But for the most part, most people either haven't tried it or don't want to try it because they don't like oatmeal. I love oatmeal raisin cookies. People always say they're trying to be chocolate chips. Is that you bite into it, think it's a chocolate chip cookie, and then you're like, ugh, it's oatmeal raisin. I love oatmeal raisin cookies. So I mean, I get a couple bottles of that get ordered maybe every month or so. All right. So I am not going to take the flavoring that it takes, the different flavors it takes to make that recipe up. I don't want to tie it up into a big gallon jug, right? I don't want to tie all that flavoring up because it's just going to sit there for years before I went through it all. So I make a little 4-ounce bottle of it and I use it and then I remake it as necessary. Okay. Nilla nuts, on the other hand,
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
people like that flavor. And I go through it quickly. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to make bigger bottles of that stuff. All right. And that's the way that it works. Do you think that one shot skips the need for steeping? I think that one shots start the process. I don't think the true steeping happens until it gets mixed in with the VG and the nicotine. I think that uh, I think that the flavors start to meld with each other and sort of blend with each other while they're sitting in the as a concentrate pre-mixed. And I know that that happens actually because I had one person complain. This was about a year ago or so. Um, Blueberry waffles is not a very big seller of mine, and I had my bottle of blueberry waffles concentrate in my little 4 ounce bottle. It had been sitting there for a while before I used it all up, and I had this one person who had ordered it and several times previously, and she'd finally used up. I think she was the only one who was ordering it, and she had finally used up the 4 ounces of concentrate I had made, and so I made a new bottle. Made a new 4 ounce bottle of it, and
Yeah.
she called me up and she said, "This tasted different. What's wrong with it?" And
Uh-oh.
I said, "Oh," I said, "Well," I said, "considering the concentrate I've been using for you was like, I don't know, a year, 2 years old kind of thing, like it had been sitting there for a while, and now this was a fresh batch of it, and it didn't taste right to her." So I said, "Hey, go ahead and let it steep for a couple weeks, see what happens."
Yeah.
So definitely it starts steeping in there, but I don't think the true steep happens until it gets mixed in with the VG. That's my opinion. I could probably take these off now, huh?
I love you. Kind of look cool in the black
You
gloves. I
think I
like
look
it.
good in the black gloves?
Heck yeah.
I look like a tattoo artist, right? All right.
So, Mom, is John mixing up for you now? How's he doing there?
Hi, Opie.
Nilla nuts. Yeah, everybody needs Nilla nuts in their life. If you haven't already done it, get out there and do it. Nilla nuts.
Now, oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember. How do we make doobie rolls? Do I use a
Well,
whole do I use a whole one, or do I cut it in half? Oh my gosh, how do I make doobie rolls? Yeah, I just use one. Okay.
ooh, that sounds good, Becca. That does sound good.
For your next mix, could you make hazelnut cream crumble cake? That is very specific. All right.
Yum.
So we're going to go back to the Buildy Cam because I have not made a doobie roll in a hot minute, y'all. This is like walking down memory lane. Okay.
Yeah, I was asking, Mom, if John has already mixed up your flavors for you now. My son got into mixing for my mom, Jen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If just needed to only add nicotine, then would cut steep. No, I don't know. I think the VG is probably more of the steeping process, I think, than the nicotine. But the nicotine helps. All right, so if you're gonna do a doobie roll, people, this is I use the Muji cotton in my RTAs, but for doobie rolls, this is not as thick. If I use the Muji cotton for a doobie roll, I end up wasting a lot of it. These guys are a little thinner and a little bit more workable when it comes to doobie rolls. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about Scottish rolls, but I call them doobie rolls. All right, so here's your pad. Your outside layer is a little bit more densely woven and not as absorbent, and we don't want that. We want all the fluffy goodness inside. So get rid of that and get rid of that. This has been a hot minute, y'all. Oh my gosh, I hope I make it right.
I have faith. You got this.
Okay, so the grain is going this way, all right? And so we want to start stretching this bad boy out here. Now, when it stretches, it's gonna stretch a lot further than you might think it will. Probably a good 4 or 5 times the length that it started out, or the width, I
Nice.
should say, the width it started out. All right, but you want to kind of tug on it evenly. You don't want to have any hot spots. You don't want to have any thin spots. You just want it to be a nice sort of filmy, translucent piece of cotton that's still relatively intact. Okay, so work on it, work on it, work on it. That looks pretty good. So there you go.
Nice.
All right. Now, I don't know if y'all are on my Facebook or not, but we're going to try. They let me keep the instruments that they didn't even use. They were going to throw them out. This is why our healthcare is so expensive. Now, normally I use these shears that RS gave me. We're going to take them out just in case these don't work. But they gave me, I asked them when I left, I said, are you going to sterilize those instruments or are you going to throw them away? And she goes, oh, they're one use. So we're going to throw them away.
Wow.
I said, can I have them? So here's and I don't even know if you can see this or not. These tweezers have little claws on the end. Let's see if I can get it to focus. There you go. So little claws on the end there. And I don't know if that's going to work or not. But we have these tweezers and we have these scissors, which have a little divot in them too. I guess it's to get underneath the stitch, I guess. So, but you know these bad boys are sharp. They're surgical scissors. All right, so the ends you're not going to be able to stretch out. They're still really thick. So you want to go in. Oh yeah, those are sharp.
Be careful.
Yeah, that's sharp. All right. So cut off the thick ends so that all you are left with is your thin, translucent, filmy piece of cotton here, okay?
Dyer, they never got to use them, hon. She didn't get her stitches out today.
I know. It was very frustrating because they tried, but it was still very tender, and I was whimpering a little bit, and then the doc said, well, if it's still that tender, you should probably leave the stitches in for a while longer. I was like, damn it. But that was just it, like I said. I mean, they were just sitting there on the counter. They'd come out, they'd opened up like a sterile pouch, right? And I was just sitting there, and I said, are you going to throw those away? And they were like, yeah. I was like, can I have them?
Why would
I was
you?
like, those are vaping tools right there.
Yeah.
All right. So once you have your cotton here, you want to kind of lay it between your fingers and just split it in half. I like to start from the wider end and just roll it up like a doobie, hence the Dewy roll. I always joke around too because they never let me do this when I was in high school. I was so bad at it. I bet you I'd be good at it now. I have not tried it, but I bet you I'd be good at it now.
I bet you would too. I have faith. There we go. Oh, I don't know, Dyer. Dyer wants to know the ones I use come coated with something that while sterile I would not bake. Talking about the stuff you got.
Oh, no, I didn't wash them. But I'll just cut it. I mean, that's fine. If I die, then y'all know we'll know why.
Not allowed. Not allowed.
All right. So I have coils pre-installed in here. Let's see what it's 0.28. It's at 71 watts. That's a little high for me. Let's take that bad bitch down. I have not fired these up in a while, so I should probably break them in, see how they're doing. Oh, yeah, that's not good.
You got that 3D printer to mill, and you could probably come up with something.
With what? What's
She's
happening?
wanting to make a tool that holds the coils in place when building, kind of like a paperclip thing.
Kind of like a paperclip thing. I'm not envisioning what you're seeing, what you're envisioning.
Yep, Mom, that's why she was calling it a doobie.
Yep.
Doobie.
Dewy roll. It's actually the proper name for it, Susan, is a Scottish roll. And I don't know why. I guess it maybe originated in Scotland. I have no idea why they call it a Scottish roll, but I don't call it a Scottish roll because it pretty much looks like you're rolling a joint, which is why I was saying they never let me do that in high school, Susan. I was so bad at it. Oh my God, I was so bad at it.
I was a perfect angel, so my mom's here. I was a perfect angel.
Sure you were. Okay, yeah, that's got a hot spot in it. I bet you these coils aren't any good.
Y'all are still selling the Aries coils over there too, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That does have a hot spot in it, but I don't really feel like recoiling these bad boys. So don't do this, okay? If you have a hot spot in your coils, and don't vape on them, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yardbird, I thought it was toffee cheesecake. What does the Dewy Roll flavor taste like? We'd like to know.
Oh, I know. I gotta let those cool off now too. Ugh.
Let me know, DeMillan. I'd like to see what you come up with.
What'd you say? I'm off down the
She's
rabbit
off
hole.
down the rabbit hole. Yep.
Ooh, which rabbit hole are we talking about?
That tool that holds coils in place. Well, when she's building.
When you're building, like when you're trying to hold this like this, and you're trying to screw the at the same time kind of thing. Is that what you're talking about? That would make sense. Because it is kind of hard to hold this in place when you're doing a screwdriver. Actually, you do probably this way. And then the screwdriver. Yeah, it is. It's rough. It's not easy. I use my fingers usually.
Yardbird says, I bet it has a grassy taste.
I don't know. Because I was going to say, I have the coily tool, which helps you um, cut the legs to the proper length.
I lost mine. I need to get another one of those if I'm going to try to build these RDAs again.
All right, so let's see if this works. I have a feeling it won't, but we're going to see if it works. Oh, wow, that does work well. Look at that. Whew.
Look at that fit.
Now, it is tight, but it is just right. Okay.
That's what he said.
Yep, that's what she said. All right, I am compressing this down a lot on one side to get it through the coil, because I have discovered the fuller you make these and the tighter it is in the coil, the better it tastes. I don't know why. You would think that it wouldn't be. You would think that if the cotton was too tight in the coil, that the juice wouldn't get in there and it wouldn't taste right or it would burn, but that's not what happens. At least for me, the tighter the cotton is in the coil, I can't grab it. The better the flavor is, at least on this RDA. Obviously, every RDA is a little different.
What's the name of this RDA you're using?
It's called the .com.
.com. Dot. I like the name.
And you can stretch it a little
Nice.
bit. There you go. Okay. Now, I usually say, this bitch can take it. It's sort of like a hashtag. I know Cassie used to say there's hashtag, this bitch can take it. So I only cut off the parts that I squeeze with my fingers, because this bitch can take all the cotton. It's got a 7 millimeter juice well.
Nice.
And but you do want to fluff up the ends. Let's see if these little claws will work for that. Nah, that's not working right. Let's get my other ones. My other angled. There we go. Angled ones. There we go. Fluff those up.
Love them up.
Yep. You want to fluff them up. You want these to be nice and flared, because it's the layers of cotton that really help. And if it looks a little too thick, I mean, you can certainly comb out the stragglers that are in there just to kind of clean it up. It's been a hot minute since I've done this. Holy crap. And
You
different
know my luck with
RDAs.
them.
Oh, that was a little too much. Different RDAs are going to take different lengths of cotton. So that needs some fluffing. Okay. So once you get your stragglers out of the way, then you just wrap them around. Oh my gosh, this is like deja vu. I have not done this in a hot minute. And voila. Okay. Just so you don't have to hold it. Yeah, that's what she's talking about. Like I'm not really seeing. She might have a vision for it, but I'm not really seeing how that would work because all the coils are so different. They're different sizes. They're different widths. They have different leg lengths. I mean, they can be very. Oh, we have to do the finger test.
The finger test.
Yeah. Oh. 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 You gonna want some of this?
Uh-oh. Looks like I'm going to be making a big old bottle then.
Look at this. I spilled it. I overjuiced. I didn't really overjuice, but I didn't let it soak in. See, I forgot. See, is the best way to do this is to just put it on the center post, over top the center post here, and just let it go down the center, and it'll eventually come back up the sides. I'm so used to using my RDA and going over each coil. No, 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 no. You don't have to do that with a .com. Because hashtag this bitch can take it.
Specta, that's crap, man. I hate that for you, dude.
Went to a local vape shop Tuesday to get a ceramic tweezer and got informed that they don't carry anything to do with rebuildables.
Wow.
That is anarchy. That's not anarchy. That's mutiny.
Yes.
It's mutiny. All right. Make sure the inside of your RDA is clean because you got some shit on there from the last time you used it. See? All right. Make sure your air vents are right in front of your coils. Oh my gosh, I haven't not used that in a while. Okay, here we go.
And now the grand test. How does it fade?
Let's see what I have it set at. I have it set at 51. Let's put it up. Actually, let's put it up to 50. Let's put it up to 60 watts. 60 watts at 0.28 ohms. Blow off some of that first, that first bit. You gotta. These kids and their disposable throwaway culture. I know, right?
Yeah. All right, what you think?
It's missing something.
Uh-oh.
It's missing something. It needs to be fuller. Maybe it does need vanilla.
Yeah, you originally were going to put vanilla in that, right?
I was going to put vanilla in there.
I have got to get my hair up, sorry.
It's definitely sweet. It's definitely creamy. I'm not getting, let's see, am I getting the toffee in there? The toffee's in there. It's just sort of blended in there, though.
What you thinking?
Something a little sharp. I'm trying to figure out what that is. It might be, it might be the pudding for all I know. I don't work with pudding.
Not the pudding.
It's there. I mean, it really does taste like a flan. It's just not enough. There's something a little hollow about it.
Okay.
I'm thinking now, Becca, I'm thinking add regular vanilla to it. is my first instinct, or maybe even a vanilla custard. In your opinion, is the vanilla pudding or the vanilla custard thicker, like a thicker
To
flavor?
me, the vanilla pudding is thicker, and that's that's why I
Okay.
use it so much, is because it's thicker. So if we're not getting that, I don't know what else would thicken. Or you're wanting it thicker, right?
The real thing you are copying sometimes includes caramel to the toffee. And I thought about using caramel, but I thought that might be overkill. Like to use caramel and toffee together, I thought would be overkill. Um,
Hmm.
Caramel, I've noticed definitely, especially when you use it with fruits, it gives it a very cobbler feel. Um, you throw in caramel and some pie crust in with a fruit, and you got instant cobbler. I mean,
Ooh, nice.
oh yeah. I mean, you might want to throw some other creamy stuff in there, vanilla or ice cream or whatever. But
Yeah,
for the most part, you throw some pie crust and some caramel in with a fruit, cobbler.
yeah, yeah. You made me fall in love with that pie crust, by the way. That stuff's the bomb.
Butterscotch. Oof.
Ooh,
I don't know if that would make it more
yum.
silky.
I don't know, but I like butterscotch.
Butterscotch is good. You've got to try. Have I ever sent you Kimber's applecotch pie?
No, no, you have not.
Yeah, that's her thing. She made that one. Well, I made it. She came and she said, I had this butterscotch apple pie at this restaurant once and I really want a vape of it. So we talked about it. We talked about what it tasted like and I put together a recipe and yeah, we got applecotch pie. So,
Nice, very nice.
okay, now the flavor's breaking in some more. The coils are getting heated up. The juice is getting heated up. It's starting to not feel as hollow. Might have just been first vape, shake and vape. Because it's not a shake and vape flavor, guys. This is not a shake and vape flavor. Um, it's definitely a steeper flavor. There's no question about it. So that I think it was just the first vape was just not. It was just a little hollow.
How long do you think you're going to want this one to steep?
I'm just not a steeper. You know. I'm sure in a week it'll probably be where it needs to be. I would say.
So we'll give it a week.
No.
Hey,
How are
no.
you doing, darling? Have not seen you in a hot minute. Ah, look at that. Danette's had some apple scotch pie. Yeah, it's another one of those flavors that Peachy vapes, and she vapes it all the time. And we're hanging out, and she exhales a big old cloud of apple scotch pie in my direction, and I'm like, "Good God, what are you vaping?" It's not that it stinks; it's just so rich,
You
you
know I
know.
love the rich.
It's
Rich.
so rich. I mean, this thing is just loaded with creams and butterscotch and cake and
Mmm.
I mean just, and then
Wow.
like the apple is like an afterthought kind of thing, but it's just loaded with all those heavy flavors.
You
And
are
yeah,
speaking my language.
yeah, you got to try apple scotch pie.
Yeah, I'll have to definitely do that. I don't know why, because I guess when I saw it, I thought it was a Scotch recipe and not butterscotch. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, no, no, it's butterscotch apple pie.
Now I know.
YouTuber Cheese Banana started the Scottish roll. He is a
Huh.
Scot and he was rolling his cotton. I believe the chat section in his video gave it the official name Scottish roll. And I am
Wow.
not by any means trying to diss his invention because I love it. Anybody will tell you, anybody who's been watching me for more than well ever will tell you that when it comes to RDAs, you cannot beat a Scottish roll. Yes, it's a pain in the ass. Yes, it's a lot of cotton, but number one, cotton is cheap.
Yes.
And number two, once you kind of get the technique down, you can make them pretty quickly. And I have tried to go back to regular wicks on an RDA, and it's the flavor is just hollow. It just does not do it for me. The Scottish roll gets in there, it fills up your entire deck, juice deck, it just has all those layers that all the juice just soaks into, and it tends to go dry on a much slower scale because you got all those layers of juice in there, right? All those layers of cotton that's holding juice. So you could actually taste when it starts to go dry and you can catch it before you get a dry hit. Okay, sometimes when you have regular, just a straight up wick, dry hits will sneak up on you.
Yeah.
But when you have an RDA with a Scottish roll, it's a much slower dry out, and you can taste it, and you know it's coming, and so you have much less chance. I mean, my dry hit ratio or my dry hit count went down by 10 times when I started using Scottish rolls. But it on top of it, it just makes the flavor better. It's just a it's just fuller and it's just really awesome. It had a haggis flavor. See, like that's another thing too. Like what I was saying about how like I would not have a Knickerbocker Glory over here in the States because I'm sure they don't know how to make it. Just like I would not have haggis here in the States. All right. I'm not even sure I would have haggis in the UK unless I was at Sloane's house. I have seen her make haggis. I have seen the plates, and oh my God, does it look delicious?
Y'all are making me hungry.
Do you know what haggis is?
No, I'm just hungry. You're talking about butterscotch, and I'm thinking over here, I want some butterscotch. I want some vanilla pudding. I want some pie
Go ahead.
crust.
Go look up what's in haggis and what
Okay,
is haggis and
haggis.
read it out to us.
You got it. Haggis. Am I not going to be hungry for this?
Nope.
Oh, no, it don't look too good. Okay. It's a savory pudding containing sheep's pluck, which is heart, liver, and lungs, minced with onion, oatmeal, suey, spices, and salt, mixed with stock and cooked while traditionally encased in the animal's stomach, though now often in an artificial casing, and said, "Okay, I'm no longer hungry. Thank you."
Yes. Yes. I thought it
Hey,
was the
Richard.
bladder, but they say the stomach. I think they use
Yeah.
it's interchangeable. Sometimes they use the bladder, sometimes they use the stomach. But yes, it's basically all the innards stuffed
Yeah.
into a stomach and or a bladder. And but the way that Sloan cooks it,
Yeah. It's good.
hmm oh yeah. Like I said, David is willing to go to the UK and try it, at a real at a restaurant that offers it. But I don't think I would try it unless I was at Sloan's house.
Mm.
If I was at Sloan's house, she can, and she likes it. She loves it. She eats it, like once a week. She loves her haggis. But the way she
Wow.
prepares it, I mean, it's like breaded and deep fried, and it just looks amazing.
Yeah, a lot of things that you think are horrible, actually, if you taste them, sometimes they're good. So, she's dire thing. Yeah, I do know what that sausage is. Definitely, that goes in my red beans and rice. Ooh, that sounds good. I can't have that, can I? Nope.
um, yeah, this flavor is starting to blend together already, so it didn't take long.
Oh,
I'm
good.
not feeling that hollow flavor anymore. It's pretty tasty.
Then I'm gonna make it. If you didn't like it, I wasn't gonna make it tonight.
Yeah, but you can't go by that because I don't care for. I mean, well, I wouldn't have.
No.
Like, this is not a flavor. I'm re-dripping if that'll tell you anything.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
usually, if I don't like a flavor, I might not illustrate the fact that I don't re-drip, but because I'm just like, it's okay. I'll put it aside. But I'm gonna
Yeah,
re-drip and I'm gonna try it again.
yeah.
Hi, Richard.
If I put something else in a tank, it's something I like, definitely.
Yeah, it's pretty tasty. Pretty
Yeah.
tasty. It's filling out. Sometimes
Nice.
the coils just gotta get heated up. The
Yeah.
cotton's got to get broken in. You know, yeah. I couldn't vape it all day. You could.
Yeah, if it's rich, yes, I could.
You could.
Yeah, all day long. Is the richer, the better. Well, I can't eat it, so I have to vape it.
And I think that's a wonderful. That's another thing that they never talk about whenever you're talking about the benefits of vaping. I mean,
Yeah.
people who have a sweet tooth, but they
Hmm.
also have sugar problems.
Yeah, definitely.
Vaping, vaping. I mean, really, come on, people. This. There is no doubt in my mind that this is the most amazing invention of the 21st century.
I agree, 120,000%.
There is nothing. I mean, even you can even go back, you know what, in the last couple of centuries, there is nothing that has been invented that is capable of saving so many lives and benefiting so many people.
Yeah.
Okay? It, the miracles that I have witnessed happening, you are one of them. This woman above me right here, ladies and gentlemen, diagnosed with COPD. COPD is not supposed to be a curable condition. Okay, once you have it, and it will kill you. Supposedly.
Supposedly, but
This
my
woman diagnosed with COPD does not have COPD anymore.
yeah,
What does
and
that tell
that's
you?
not supposed to happen, by the way. It's just not.
Yeah. I know a person who was not a smoker, had asthma. His wife was a smoker. She quit smoking using a vape. They were in a parking lot one day when he had an attack, and he didn't have his inhaler on him. She said, "Here, take this."
I bet it worked great, didn't it?
It worked.
It
He
makes
started
sense.
vaping. He started vaping.
Yeah.
Okay. This man started vaping. Never smoked a cigarette a day in his life. Started vaping. A year later, he went to a new doctor. The doctor looked at his chart and he said, "Why does this say you have asthma?"
Mhm.
He said, "I don't know, doc. Do I have asthma?" He said, "No." And he took the asthmatic label off of his chart.
I mean, that's a miracle to me, and
Asthma is not supposed to be curable.
neither is COPD. So, I mean,
Who's trying to cover that shit up? And
I
don't
don't
tell
know.
me they didn't know this. Don't tell
Oh,
me they
they
didn't know.
do. And there was a study done on that. I mean, what was it, back in the 50s where they were putting this in the air? I can't
40s,
remember.
in the 40s.
The 40s.
In
Okay.
the 1940s, this was over in Europe. There were two hospitals, all right, that were somewhat close to each other during World War II. Okay, so we're talking early 40s, all
Yeah.
right? And one of these hospitals had just installed this new device or mechanism, whatever, where once a day they would pump copious amounts of vaporized PG through the vents. All right. They did it every day, fogged up the whole place. All right. Every day. And they did a study over 30 days. All right. The purpose of this was to kill airborne viruses.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Over the course of 30 days, the hospital that did not have this system had like 138, something like that, about 130 or so uh, cases of patients who had contracted an airborne virus while they were hospitalized.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were being treated for other stuff. They came in for other reasons, ended up contracting, a flu or a cold or whatever, just an airborne sickness.
Right.
The hospital that had the PG pumping through their vents every day, 6.
I mean, it's amazing to me. It's amazing
How do you ignore that science?
because it doesn't make them any money,
Exactly.
and that's so sad.
Exactly.
Mm.
My only complaint with vaping is since I've stopped smoking, I put on a lot of weight. Must be the calories.
Yep. Yep. That's what it was, dude.
No, you know what it is, Noel? It's not that. Your taste buds grew back. And when your taste buds grew back, you realized how awesome everything tastes.
Food.
You're like, oh my God, this is amazing. Okay. Because what did we
Food.
do? We killed our taste buds. We killed our lungs. We killed our throats. I mean, it's so damaging. And I mean, yeah, the more I read, the more I see, the more I hear these stories, the more I'm like, how is this product even allowed to exist? I mean, how? How is this product even allowed? It's it's poison.
Yep.
But as long as they're getting that tax money,
They just don't care. It's sickening. And you just want to just go up and shake them and just smack them upside the head.
I know, I know.
Mm,
I mean, just and the demonization of vaping.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you guys saw it. Michelle put out a video yesterday. She was on a rant. I don't know
Yeah.
how you took it. You said you had cuss words and you took them out. I don't know how you fixed that. Did you
Gee,
re-record?
I did parts of it, yes.
I did not see any jump cuts.
I was having fun. I have a new video program I'm using.
Cause I mean, I'll admit I didn't look super hard, but I kept looking, and I kept kind of watching, and I'm like, I'm looking for the jump cuts, and I didn't see any jump cuts.
Yeah, there's
You're
little blurs.
you're good.
Oh, oh, sorry, my butt's getting numb.
Right? The thing that interests me about COPD is how much of it is misdiagnosis and how much is improvement. That's fair. That's fair. I
Now,
know.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no, go ahead.
On my end, I actually had several pulmonary function tests done that showed that I actually had COPD. And then after I was getting a PFT every year for the first 3 years, and after the third year, my lung capacity had increased so much that they didn't even feel they needed to treat me for COPD anymore. So you can take that for what you want.
That just amazes me. I mean, and the person I know who had that took the asthma label off their chart.
Yeah, it's miracles.
What? Right? I mean, I know somebody else who there's I know one person whose COPD has not progressed. They still
That's
have
great.
it,
Oh, that's great.
but they were told that they were going to be dead in 6 months. I think they're at stage
Yeah.
3, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Um, but they've never progressed to stage 4, some 7 years later.
That's great.
All right. And I know somebody else who went backwards. They were at stage, either at stage, I think they were at stage 2.
Yeah,
And after they started vaping, they actually went backwards to stage 1.
that's
They haven't
nice.
gotten
Yeah,
rid
I
of
mean
it,
that's
but they did go backwards. And you're the
just
amazing
just got
story at all. It's gone.
lost. Yeah, it's just
It's
gone.
gone.
I mean, I lost. I could, and I said this on the video. I used to be a singer. I was a country singer. So even though I quit singing and was doing all this other stuff, I had lost the ability to sing. I could not breathe or catch my breath long enough to hold a note to sing. And within the first year of starting to vape, I was able to sing again, and that to me was huge.
Yep.
Huge. Because I love to run around singing all the time. I still do karaoke.
Well, David's a singer,
Yes, I
and
do.
he'll tell you before he started vaping, I mean, he could still sing,
Hmm.
but he couldn't hold a note over, he could hold it for a little while, but now, I mean, he's like, I can go at volume 10 for like 30 seconds. I mean, just hold it. He can take those post notes out and just hold it. He's like, I
Oh, that's
never could
amazing.
do that before. Never. When are you coming to open mic here? You know, he's
Yeah,
only a
yeah.
couple hours away from
I would love
you.
that. I would love
Carrollton is
that.
just over the Georgia border.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I did that. I sang for 12 years. I even sang with I don't know if I'm sure, maybe Justin Tubbs on the Midnight Jamboree, sang down there with him. I had a great
Yardbird might
time.
know him. I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of the older singers showed up on the Midnight Jamboree, so I don't know how old Yardbird is. So
Oh, I just got your message. Okay.
I am so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. We actually went over, 30 minutes over. This is why I would do a 3-hour show because when you take the time to do the mixing thing, it tends to drag it
It
out a
does.
bit. Not drag it out boring like, but it just the time goes by a lot faster.
Yeah, it takes
Um,
a while. Yeah.
for the right amount of money, politicians will make big pharma and big
I
tobacco
agree. I wish
favorable
I
while
had
making
it.
lots of money.
Wish I had it
Yeah.
mix a lot. I would pour it into it.
What money? I know, right? Yeah, I wish I
Yeah, I
did
mean,
too.
if I had it and we could do advertisements and commercials the way Bloomberg and all them did, this would be a different picture. I really believe that.
Yeah, if we had been able to do it beforehand, but we
Yeah.
can't because it's actually part of the PMTA process. You have to. There was a story that came out. Nick Green, I think, Grim Green, posted it on his Facebook page because they made a big deal about it, and it was a news story and everything. It must have been a slow news day, people. Let me tell you what.
Yeah.
That apparently somebody's child was using some service for digital learning and an ad for the IQOS popped up. And this parent just had conniption fits over the fact that this tobacco product was being advertised to his child while they were doing digital learning. And it was like, okay, well, and so obviously us pro vaping people are like, please, no child's ever going to go after IQOS and
Yeah.
blah blah blah. Why are you getting all bent out of shape over this? Whatever, yada yada. Um, and I mean, I understand getting bent out of shape about it. I mean, I think it's a little bit ridiculous to get that bent out of shape about it and make a whole news story out of it.
Oh,
But
anything to go against us. Yeah.
right. But the fact of the matter is that it was actually an illegal ad.
Yeah.
The part of the PMTA process is you have to show your advertising channels and you have to prove that those advertising channels are, and I can't remember what the percentage is. It's pretty high. It's like 75 or maybe even 90%. You have to prove that those channels have like a 90% customer base of over 21. And so if they're one of their advertising channels is this digital learning thing,
Yeah.
I mean
Yeah.
that's
No.
bad. It's
Yeah,
not
that
right.
was.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you ain't supposed to be doing that shit. All right, so
No.
it was an illegal ad. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
Um, but getting that bent out of shape is a little stupid. But
Yeah.
whatever.
Just, tell your kids not to do something. I don't know why
Right?
people have such a hard
Man
time
up
doing
and
that.
fucking parent your kids, people.
Holy
I mean,
crap.
seriously. I mean, hello, I grew up in the 80s, right? I mean, well, I grew up
Yeah,
in the
me too.
70s, really. I grew up in the 70s and 80s. Believe me, I never once went to a doctor's office waiting room where I wasn't bombarded with the Winston man
Oh
in the
yeah, come on.
magazines
Yeah.
and the marble man and the Winston man. I mean, David Gorlitz was staring up at me whenever I was sitting in a waiting room when I was 6 years
All the
old.
time. All the
Okay,
time.
it did not affect the fact that I started smoking later. Okay, trust
No.
me. Seeing David Gorlitz in my dentist office magazines did
Didn't do
not
a
have
thing.
a one bit of an effect on the fact that I started smoking when I was 14. I promise.
No. No, there's no commercial out there that's going to make me. I mean, mine was because I was hanging out with girls that smoked, I mean, they smoked, I smoked. That was just what it was.
That's exactly how it happened. I was at a pool hall and all my friends were smoking
Yeah.
and they offered me a cigarette.
Sure,
And
I'll
then
try
and then
one.
they laughed at me for coughing. So I
Yep.
decided that I was going to go and I was going to learn how to smoke so that I
Yep.
wouldn't get laughed at for coughing. So then I went and I
Wow.
started smoking on my own so that I could learn how to smoke and not cough.
Yep. Insane.
Yep,
But I had a great time in the 80s. So it was a great time.
right.
Yeah.
Didn't we
Wonderful
all?
time. Yeah.
Before
I'd
the
go back to
internet,
those
there's
days.
no documentation of how stupid we were.
Thank God.
Right.
Oh, Lord.
All right, guys, we got to go. She's got to go. I got to go too. It's almost 8 o'clock. You always wanted to hang out with the smoking girls, but didn't. Oh, okay. One more thing I got to say. I got to
What
tell
we
this
got?
story. This is hilarious. All right.
Yeah.
So after I got divorced in 2005, and I started dating. I was on, a lot of these dating sites. I was on eHarmony and Match and, Yahoo Personal and, anyway. So I met this guy. We actually dated for a while. His name was Steven. And of course, I had on my profile that I smoked, and I had that I didn't care whether or not, I was with a smoker. It didn't bother me, um, either way. Um, so when we started dating, sometimes we would sit in front of a computer and like log into my account and kind of see like what was out there, and we kind of make fun of people because it's a great place to people watch. And we log into his account and kind of see what his version of Match was whenever from the girl, from the guy's side, right? And he was telling me, he was like, "Oh my gosh," he goes, "all of these damn girls out there," or when I told him, I said, "all these guys, so many of them say that they don't want a smoker, right?" And he looked at me, and because he had said, all the girls out there too. It seemed like all the girls. No, I don't want to smoke her. I don't want to smoke her. I don't want to smoke her. So, and when I told him, I was like, the same thing for the guys. And he was like, really? I was like, yeah. I was like, there's all, 80, 90% of them, it seems like, no, I don't want to smoke her. He was like, well, that's just stupid. And I'm like, why do you say that? He goes, because all the cool girls smoke.
That's true. They did back then. Oh, wow. Wow.
So yeah, that's how that went.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, we're gonna get out here. It's awesome to see you, Prim. We're gonna make this a weekly thing, I think. You can use coupon code MIXIN to get 10% off your order at higgy6.com. You do not have to have an account there because it's just coffee and flavors there. There are some member exclusives though. If you have an existing account with us and you log into your account, you'll see some cool things happen when you log in. So you guys take care. We love you. We will see you next week, Thursday from 5 to 7 Eastern Time.
Bye, guys.
Bye. I'm going to play a little outro here, but we can, since I'm not doing music, we can chat over it. So, and I want to thank so much Michelle for being on, and I hope that you'll make this a weekly thing.
Yes, I'm gonna. I would do anything for you. You know that.
Oh. I know I didn't even really pit my own stuff the whole time I was here. What was up with
I
that?
know what happened
I
there.
forget. You got to remind me. You got to stay on my back.
Go to Higgy's.
Go to Higgy's.
Hurry up. Don't forget.
Higgy's. You get all kinds of awesome one shot. If you're a lazy DIYer,
Yeah, come
go get some
on.
one shots, man. That's what you need. All right. We love you guys.
Love you.
Bye. And coffee. Yeah, buy coffee. Bye.
Bye.
End.